Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2. First person in, let me know how my sound is. It's quite humid today. Now, of course, you all see the title. Like I said, I'm waiting on a sound check, then I'll begin. It's a little breezy, y'all. A little Okay, you said the sound is low, so I don't think my mic is working then. All right, let me know now if the sound is low. Shalom, shalom. All praises to the horizon. Christ is Lord. I'm just saying things, you know, for the sound session. Let me know if we clear. Y'all are getting way more as the time goes. Y'all are getting more and more, mature. Damn, the sound is low. It's because my mic's not working, but I'm not sure why. Is it still super low? If it is, I'm going to have to not use the mic, but I'm kind of far away from it, you know, kick back in the shade. Let me know if it's still low. If it is, I'm going to no mic. Okay, the sound is not low now, right? I took the mic out. Any of y'all know? What's the best mic to get, like the wireless joints? Because I definitely don't got the right one. Now I'm clear, right? I'm assuming so. I have to make the most of the view. Sound difficulties. Now, if y'all have any questions concerning where life derived, or you have an understanding that you can put it up. Just make sure it makes sense. Now, of course, life deriving in Africa is something that's popular or said a lot in 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 modern day times. And for those of y'all that do this, you like to sound current with the times. Always remember the crowd is the bulk of the stupidity. I'll say that again. Remember, the crowd is always the bulk of the stupidity. So you don't want to always blurt out what sounds like the most intellectual or popular thing to say, because then you kind of usually you putting yourself in a bunch with the fools. Now, did all life start in Africa? Absolutely not. You have all the different continents that we know of on Earth. And there were indigenous men and animals on every continent. To think that animals are humans, which is truly one and the same, but to think that they started in one spot and everywhere else was blank is truly absurd when you think about it on an intellectual level. Meaning, what sense would that make? But, like I said, you have every continent on this planet, and you would have had indigenous men and animals, plant life, all the life that you know to be on every other continent. It would have been everywhere, not just in one place. Now, think on this. If all life started in Africa, then everybody in modern day times would be an African. If life started in Africa, then whatever an African is, you get my point? Everybody would be that in modern day. Just because you move somewhere is not going to magically make you something different. If an African moves to China, they're not magically going to turn into a Chinaman. Doesn't work like that. This is real life. And so think on that. Now, I know in today times they say, like, you know how they say people migrated from Africa, then over the course of, centuries or millennia, the environment changed their appearance. But nobody's alive long enough for their, you get my point? Nobody's alive for centuries or millennia. And your offspring gonna look like whatever you look like. That's period. It don't matter if I move anywhere. I could move I could move to China. 1,000 years in China, which I would never be in China for 1,000 years, but my descendancy, they not gonna magically change into Chinamen unless they mix and mingle in with Chinamen. Meaning, if I move to China and then I have sex with a Chinese woman, yeah, my offspring's appearance is gonna change from my normal appearance, which is black. They're gonna look slightly Chinese, but me just being in China is not gonna change my genetics. It's not gonna make my offspring magically start coming out looking like Chinese people so that they can fit into the society. Life don't care about the society. You get my point? And so, all life deriving in Africa, like I said, this is all agenda stuff, Has nothing to do with reality or logic. It just has to do with agendas. Whatever the point of these agendas are, meaning whoever started the agenda, that everybody needs to be from Africa, they know the point of their agenda, but so an agenda is an agenda. Now, I'm sure y'all all have a brain to say, okay, what he said does make sense. The only way you're going to change in your appearance, meaning you are your lineage, is if you mix breed in with another race. Then the offspring will have a different appearance. And the more they interbreed in with, that other race, they will start to change more and more alike. But to think all people came from Africa and then migrated from Africa and magically started changing in their appearance, and the Chinese people and Mexicans, you got to be 5 years old if you think that makes sense. Again, if you somebody that teach this, you don't have to take offense and think that I'm taking a jab at you. Most of y'all, I have no awareness of your awareness. Or I have no awareness of your presence, meaning I don't even know who you are. It's just a popular theory. Y'all jump on things that's said, and then you get my point. If I'm explaining it, maybe you take an offense and you think I'm talking to you. I don't know you exist. That's not a jab to you either. We live in that society now where everything is a jab. If you say I don't know you, that's a jab. And so be clear. I'm just speaking from logic, meaning logically, that's like I would expect an 8-year old to come up with a theory like that. That all life started in Africa, migrated out, and magic trick stuff started happening, and no real thought put into it. You clearly see that. Now, in regards to reality, you have life on every continent, all over the place, always. And you get my point? As one culture or one people, let's say Africans, those from Africa, as they start to migrate out of Africa to other places, so let the mixed breeding or interbreeding begin, and this is how you would get, all the many different nationalities of people that we have. Now, which have the African, you know, you gotta tell, and because times where airplane broke that free out, pick where I left off. Now, in regards to where you say something that don't make no sense for whatever purpose you want to serve whatever scheme and scam you got going. But outside of that, logically, that's kind of smooth. You get my point? Now, y'all get lost into like nationality arguments. Whatever. You get my point? Lost into where y'all are. When you come here, you're listening to me like how that theory, you're gonna get lost into your group thing where you think this is like that clear. A lot of explaining something in Christianity, y'all get lost into y'all in parties with different groups, like you know something you're tingling what I'm saying as a jab to whatever you believe in. You get my point? Because you lost into that, meaning y'all bring y'all tackiness here, start dumbing y'all. But of that, you get my point. All of it makes no sense. Group you part of, or what agenda you make the agenda group make sense. That's the overall point. You get it? I explain things unbiasedly, grasp or not. Now, when you get into the name Africa, this is a name colonizers gave that place. No place had a name written on it, meaning none of the continents have a name. Civilized. That means all life cannot derive from Africa because Africa colonizers colonizers are the people that come to far. So like what's on rainforest right now. You got different civilized, meaning they come from cities. They're going into the Amazon, which is not a developed. The beginning, a developed place has all the resources there to build. You know, that's where wood comes from. We would need to build natural foundation into these places. Of course, food. When I say indigenous, I mean they have no civilization. Even have fire. They have no clothing, nothing. That's what an indigenous person is. Animals of the land. The animals don't have fire. That's something that comes from society or civilization. Now you may think in your mind and say, no, 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 no. Fire goes all the way back to the beginnings of societies, and if fire be civilization, meaning you got a process. We had computers now. That's what you would know if somebody was civilized. They have a computer. But less than 100 years ago, technology, our civilization was not to the civilization to the point of not my point. It's all a process. One of the beginning or the first acts of civilization, I mean a city where there's roads and buildings. So, yes, early men had fire, but early men would have been from civilizations. And the civilizations, of course, would have been, however, technology or so whenever you can think of the first group of people that had fire, these people lived in a society or a community that they had built like a city, and you get my point? They would have been the only ones that had fire amongst a bunch of other indigenous people who would not have. They would have not been viewed as indigenous. They would have been viewed as, you get it? The opposite thing. Civilized. If any of y'all are not clear on what I'm saying, let me know. I don't know what no kizzy or any other ignorant thing means. You have to speak in intellect here. Salam. Don't take offense either. And so, like I said, indigenous people, they have no civilization. Whatever civilization you see that they do have, let's say you see indigenous men of the Amazon rainforest right now, they have arrows. That mean they came into contact with civilized men, meaning their tribe came into contact with civilized men during a time when arrows was the height of civilization. And we have guns and knives and stuff now, but there was a point in time in history where arrows would have been like the heights of the technology of the time, and this would have been a civilized thing, meaning civilized cultures would have had this, not indigenous people. These civilized cultures, they mix in with the indigenous people when they're colonizing their lands, and you get my point. They teach them little things, and then they go on their way. From there, those indigenous people are just stuck in time, meaning 500 years pass, technology has advanced, but they still have arrows because they haven't come into contact with indigenous people since arrow times. And this is where y'all get a little confused, where you say, no, hold on. Indigenous people can have clothing? No. Once they got clothes on, you get my point? They have had contact. They would have been civilized in their time. Civilization has moved on and they're just stuck in their time because they haven't come into contact with anybody from civilization since that time. And you further along, you look back at an indigenous tribe, they have on clothing and feathers and they can make fire and different things that we can do that's not that special to us. You say, nah, they indigenous. No, they not indigenous. They was probably the heights of civilization in their time, civilization having passed them along. They're not a part of the round table, you can say. What do they call it? The United Nations in today's times. That has always been. If you look back at, let's say, ancient Sumerian cultures, their symbol was like a bird. If you look at ancient Egypt, that culture, their symbol was a bird. If you fast forward to America, the symbol is a bird. That's letting you see how long the same people have been colonizing this earth or developing different places since thousands and thousands of years ago. You follow? The bird is still raining. Meaning America is a part of an ancient process of conquering the world, meaning developing cities or countries in every part of the world. Of course, when you do that, you're taking away from the forest, because this is where these cities are being built, out of the forest. But that process has been going on since BC times. This is why you see many different ancient cultures with the bird as their symbol. Whether it's an eagle or vulture, whatever the case may be, when you see that symbol, it's like any symbol. It's letting you know what the thing is a part of. There's like a pipeline that goes all the way back thousands and thousands of years. Just imagine if this whole earth has no cities in it yet. Just forest land, nature, natural resources. And I decide to build a whole city. And the symbol of my city is a bird. And then my sons come along and they decide to do the same. Meaning they go out into their parts of the forest and they develop up cities as well. And they use that same symbol, the bird, as their logo of their city, because that city is a colony of the one they come from, meaning they my sons. They carrying on the torch. My dad, he developed a nation. I'm developing one. My offspring are going to develop one. And this continues on generation after generation after generation to where you get thousands of years to the current times. You got all these different countries, and you get it? They all come from one start. They all have the same logo if you pay attention. Maybe it changed a little bit over time because you get it? Cousins is colonizing, so on and so forth. So it ain't gotta always be direct. Even sometime you may have servants of these people who are colonizing, starting their own places. But you get it? The power is given to them by whatever culture or nation they come from, and it's a part. Equilibrium. Put your question up anyway, but I'm just giving y'all a little history. Africa's not a place, it's just a name. To say you come from Africa is to say, like, you're a part of the systematics or what came into that place and colonized it and made it what you see today. You know, a bunch of different countries and all the systematics and BS that go with that. You're not enlightening anyone, or you're not awakened yourself. You're still lost into the systematics. This thing go all the way back before names. Indigenous people don't name the place. They live in it. They know their territory, they know their area. You don't need no roads, street signs, or none of that to know that. You don't need to name a thing, anything, to know that. Y'all know y'all neighborhoods, whether it got name on it or not. All of that stuff is colonizer stuff, where they're naming stuff because they're naming it after their ancestors. They come colonize or conquer a nation of people or an area where people live, and then they're naming that place after their elders. Maybe they name it after their son, but you get my point? It's like Puerto Rico, Port of Rico. Who's Rico? Who knows? But he's probably one of Christopher Columbus descendants. You get my point? Maybe his elder. I don't know, but it's all simple. When you don't have an agenda where you have to prove like we're all from Africa or we're all this, then everything becomes simple. It ain't even that hard to understand. Meaning everything I'm saying y'all could figure out on y'all own. The thing is, y'all have agendas that y'all are part of. So according to your agenda, everybody got to be from Africa. In that, do you see how that makes it hard for you to figure out something so simple? You say, no, I couldn't have figured out what Salas said because that don't go along with my African agenda. Like that. If you remove the African agenda, you would have figured that out on your own. I think y'all groups and y'all agendas have a merit. You have a mindset like, no, he's trying to tear down our groups. I don't have a power to tear down y'all groups. Y'all groups been around before I was around. And me telling you your group is slow is nothing new. You get my point? Meaning y'all getting lost into some made-believe quarrel, overlooking like, no, Salas been saying all of this, and it was good. It was good until we got lost into our groupings. When I came, y'all wasn't all grouped out and stupid like y'all are now. Where y'all playing little kid group games, and whoever ain't in the group, you know, the childish thing. Y'all wasn't doing all of that then. In that, when I'm debating Herman Smalls on Sonetta TV and I'm saying like y'all groups is what's interfering with unity, and it wasn't a warring matter then. You get my point? It was just a discussion. And y'all lost it, but you get my point? Now when I'm saying it, y'all view it different. Like, no, it's a war he's trying to tear down. No, I'm trying to get y'all to see the bigger picture. That bigger picture is y'all groups. It's just a smaller form of the greater glory. If the goal is for black people to be unified, then your group is just a small aspect of that. Your group not being that though. And so that's the point of me saying that y'all groups is in the way. If y'all groups get tore down, then y'all all be unified according to my understanding. So that's my purpose of saying it. If y'all stay in groups, it wouldn't matter to me because y'all already been in groups, but y'all seem to be complaining and acting like it's so hard to unify. It's not. I don't even see why y'all complaining and fronting like that's the goal at this point. But if that is the goal, well, this is the reason why y'all haven't accomplished that in all these hundreds of years. It's because y'all keep making groups. In that, whoever don't want to be a part of the group, maybe they want to be a part of like everybody in the race. Then do you get my point? It starts to create a division. This is why black people have so much division in their race. In any other race who follows that blueprint, so they're going to have the same divisions in their race. You follow? Meaning if your race decides that they want to start creating a bunch of groups, nationality groups, gangs, political groups, and any other kind of group they could think of, this is going to be the beginnings of your nationality looking like a damn fool and going against each other. So just take heed to what I'm saying. Outside of that, keep me separate from, the childish things y'all like to fall into, when you're grown and you arguing with the next person about something dumb because y'all are in separate groups. It's all about logic here, makes sense. Whatever makes sense, that's what makes sense. That's my logic. In that, it wouldn't matter what group you from to me. If you make sense, then you make sense. And if you don't, I wouldn't care. If we the same skin color or anything, you don't make sense. And living by whatever you're saying, if it doesn't make sense, I don't see the point in that. I wouldn't care if you my brother. You have to make sense, N-word, because I have to follow what you're saying if that's what we doing. You get it? You're a Hebrew Israelite. I ain't got no problem with the people that's Hebrew Israelites. They my people to me. But in regards to me going along with any old thing that y'all say that don't make no sense, well, do you get my point? You have to make sense. I'm not talking about program, because that's what y'all confuse with making sense. If one can repeat the program word for word, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about making sense in life. The program is everybody derived from Africa. Now, that don't make sense in life. I mean in that way. We've all heard the programmings our whole life. If you young, this your first time, but it ain't gonna go nowhere. But it still have to make sense. You get my point? And so everybody just has to grow in mind, and mature. Kids gonna do what they do, meaning all they know is, what they know, which is how to argue and the dumb stuff. Conversations based on that, arguing and having to be right. But when you get into real realms of wisdom, the realms that I'm master of, there's none of that. You have to make sense. Not program, sense. Anything that makes sense is acceptable. Getting mad and upset, and you get my point? Going into dumb conversations that have absolutely nothing to do with the point. You get my point? This is for lessers. This is not for intellectuals. And this is what a lot of y'all do. Meaning you convince yourself that you wise, but your etiquette is not up to par. I'm not judging your etiquette from however you want to be in your own time, but I'm talking about when it's times to discuss deep matters. So you're talking all around the point, acting like a child, and you get my point? You don't snap out of it and, have the maturity when you can acknowledge if you're right, wrong, or whatever the case may be. And that's what wisdom is about. Or that's what real debates is about. getting to the point. Y'all are making debates, arguments, and things that commoners would do, but y'all are commoners for the most part, meaning and understanding. Now, Equilibrium, you said I was wondering how they managed to keep going and keep it together through cataclysmic events and wars throughout time. I'm not sure what you mean by how they managed to keep going and keep it together. In today times, y'all become wise before y'all truly are. And wisdom is the control and the discipline of the mind, the emotional state too, but this all starts with the mind. Okay, I get what you're saying, Equilibrium. You're saying the orders of the system. Yeah, like I said, it's just the building up cities over the course of thousands of years. The earth is humongous. I know y'all don't think they could build all these cities that y'all see in life now in 5 days. You get it? It started back, let's say, you could say 10,000 years ago, however long you want to say. But that's how much time it take, and they still ain't finished. You get my point? They just now getting to the Amazon rainforest. They ain't developed up Yellowstone National Park yet. This is a forest. It's not a park. It's a part of Earth that they haven't touched yet. So they like, they leave it as a national attraction until they get to it. Like that. Same way Amazon rainforest was a national attraction. Brazil and all them countries in South America were built out of that rainforest, but you get it? As it gets smaller and smaller, they're gonna preserve it and make it a park. Like, no, look, this is a nice little park over in South America. Man, that was the whole South America at one point. It's like Yellowstone Park. Yellowstone Park was the whole North America. You get my point? I'm not saying that would have been the name. Are you getting lost in the Yellowstone Park? And I'm saying before they built all these states or countries, this whole place was the forest just like Yellowstone, and Yellowstone would have been a part of it. A never-ending forest. And you get it? They done built 52 states out of it. There ain't much left. So whatever's left, they try to be like it's a park. And y'all come from society, so y'all view it from the beginnings of society. Y'all forget like there was life before society, which is pretty much the death. It's like a lot of people, let's say you from America, let's say you black, or let's say you Spanish, and you say, man, My ancestors are the Tainos, you know, Tainos, the Tainos, that tribe. The Tainos come from a time where America was colonized. They're not before the colonizers came, they're after that, meaning they're the mixed breed offspring of the Italians coming to the Americas. They're the beginnings of the developing of this place into what you know. The people are the indigenous people from this place would have probably been calling the Tanos. They would have been calling them like, you know, whatever derogatory terms they had for colonizers. And so there's a process, meaning that Tainos is what y'all would call indigenous people, but they do have like civilization. Y'all don't look at it like that's where civilization was at that time. And they was like one of the first civilizations in that area at that time, meaning colonizers came, those from Italy, Spain, Portugal. And when they're mixed breeding in with these indigenous people and trying to teach them the language, well, Taino is probably the best way they could say Italiano. It all go together. You got to remember, Italy came here. Y'all don't speak indigenous, so y'all would never know what indigenous tribe call themselves. The most you could do is teach the indigenous people your language somewhat, and then you get it. Whatever they say they call they self in your language, which is going to be whatever you call yourself. So it's like that. Y'all lost into the beginnings of civilization. But this goes before that, meaning it goes before civilized people. It goes to what y'all will call like the butt-naked pygmies running around the forest. You get it? They ain't got no civilization, fire, none of that. They do now, but you get it? Civilization is far, far along, and they far, far behind. Meaning they just now getting fire. They done had it as long as they did. They ain't got nothing else, like shotguns or none of that. So it's just a process overall. But like I said, if you lost into one of the agendas, you know, you a Hebrew Israelite, are you a Pan-African or this thing or that thing, well, this is the beginnings of dumbing yourself down, putting yourself into a box where you're not going to grasp, you know, the history of man in life. Lost into some fake claim of power. I guess if you were part of the Pan-African community, then your goal is to prove like black people had power before white people and we truly established all this stuff, so on and so forth. But that's stupid because all this stuff that y'all see is the down, is what bring life down. It ain't nothing to be looking to claim. There's no point to be looking to claim that you was the king that started all this bullshit and all this shit that we live in. Especially if you don't see no real traces of us truly doing that. We don't even live like that in our own cultures now, so that's stupid. These is things that happen to us and powers that we subjected to now. And y'all are trying to mimic these powers. That's not going to give us any glory because y'all are not these powers. The only glory we got is in making these powers grasp that we of equal measure and equal merit. Once y'all trying to get into ruling, well, you get my point? That's when you done lost yourself and you're gonna have problems in life. When you start trying to be what oppressed you, you're done. Let that sink in. You got shot before. If you promoting guns, you's a damn fool. You got afflicted by it. Nobody else did, or whoever else did, they did. When you get to that point, you a damn fool. And so if you somebody that got shot and you be on here showing guns and shooting guns, and I'm not saying anybody specific, I'm sure y'all watch a lot of people that do that. I just know that's popular now. I'm saying that because a lot of y'all gonna probably take offense. Meaning a lot of y'all probably measure up to what I'm saying, but I don't even know you exist. I just know we live in a stupid world. And so let's say you somebody that got shot and you be promoting guns and shooting, or you a damn fool. You got afflicted by that. Why would you promote it? It ain't worked out for you. Same with Dominion. We got conquered by those who had Dominion. When you start pretending and promoting Dominion, you's a damn fool. Cause that ain't something that you gonna never be able to claim. The only time you gonna see a minority in power is when they sell their own out to get it, to be a part of that whole power system. It don't have nothing to do with you coming up or your nationality coming up. It got to do with your nationality being sold out. Obama ain't have his own power where he the leader of the black nationality, and you get it? He's a part of this system. And it had to be a little bit of selling us out to get to that power. Now, this ain't a knock to Obama or anybody because everybody be selling out. So I don't want nobody to take, a personal jab offense. You get it? That's my point of saying that. If you a Hebrew, Israelite, a Pan-African, a Christian, whatever you are, you ain't got to take offense when you come here. I'm talking about everybody. I ain't singling nobody out, so nobody need to feel abused. Y'all can all team up. I don't mind. My back strong enough. Y'all like little kids. Y'all like this little boxer I seen online. I don't know who this dude is. He's like a leprechaun. It's like it's like a white pygmy. Like had a long ponytail. He was punching so fast. I said, who taught him how to box? Whoop his ass. Oh, y'all grabbed this shit out of him. You feel me? So whoever that little guy is, I grabbed. I start turning to y'all like how y'all be talking to me. I said, oh yeah, I grabbed him up so fast. He won't even get a chance. It looked like he bite. Like, I don't know. But y'all be doing a lot. You gotta get to a place where you seeking truth and not seeking to be a part. This is where most people get lost. They never come into their own because they spend their whole life trying to be a part. Living out their childhood. Usually they was a goofy. They wasn't a part of the cool kids or whatever that whole thing is. And you follow? They still trying to live that out. Grown as hell, talking about what group they a part of. You're supposed to be able to come and go in all groups. As an adult, you're supposed to be above that. It's just like the little kids in the neighborhood. They like Bloods and Crips. But the adults could go talk to either side because these they youngins. They don't hold the adults to like be a part of my group or not. You's a goofy if you're half a goofy to the kids if you were part of their little group to them. They ain't gonna tell you that because you wouldn't tell. But you gotta have a brain to know that. Equilibrium said really connecting dots and bringing perspectives. We do be getting lost in the heights of civilization. Y'all don't have any dots yet. You get it? Y'all are still trying to make things that don't even logically make sense. So y'all ain't even begun. Meaning, you see how y'all are incapable of having a conversation with me about anything? It don't even have to be that deep. But y'all struggle to make a point. Like I said, y'all still playing make-believe and belief games, and you get it? Trying to make stuff that don't make no sense make sense. Christians are still trying to make Jesus a real man that walked the earth. That don't make no sense. You gotta get real. You have to get to a place where you realize, okay, my understanding has to be off. It has nothing to do with whatever I believe in being wrong. It has to do with my understanding is wrong. Like that. Y'all lost into the simple-minded things, the personifications of things. But y'all are grown. In that, God is put into a personified format for people to grasp. You can't just tell people like God is that white yolky substance that come out of man's pee-pee. They too immature. You see it when I'm doing it in real time. They get immature. They start acting like it got to do with sex, like 5-year-olds. In that, you can't tell man like God is that thing that come out of man's man's balls. You know that white yolky substance. You can't tell them that's who Jesus is the personification of, because they lost into the personification. Now that white yolky substance, this is the beginnings of everybody's life. Meaning, if you were male or a female, you started out as that white yolky fluid that came out your father. Came from the Father. Like it says, Jesus comes from the Father. Excuse me. It says Jesus comes from the Father. I said that white yolky substance is what they talking about. You will figure the connection would happen. But do you get my point? Y'all are like children. So y'all say, no, that don't make no sense. How that don't make no sense? How is Jesus some beat up nigga on a cross? And that makes sense. That God gonna come physically and that's gonna make sense. But what I just said don't make no sense, even though y'all all started that way. Ain't nobody did not start that way. Meaning y'all all come from sex and ejaculation. Male and female, we all start out as that white yolky substance that we call seminal fluid or cum. This is why Jesus in text says, come into my yoke. Again, Jesus is the personification of a substance that you cannot get unless you make a man orgasm. It's a sacred thing. It ain't something you could just go to the river and scoop up seminal fluid. It's something that you can only get if you can figure out the code to a man's mind to make him come, because him orgasming is a mind thing. Meaning he's having sex, but overall, you get my point, the mind is reaching a climax. And this is the only way that divine substance is released, otherwise you would never see it. Well, you would only see it if a man is beating off and being perverted, but you get it? You would never see that substance. You would just see it when it come out in the flesh. Meaning if I ejaculate into your mama and then you're born, we wouldn't never see that white yolk. We just see you being born 9 months later. That's why it says Jesus will be born in the flesh and blood. It's not speaking of an individual. It's speaking of that substance and how it's ejaculated out from the Father. And then in the time to come, it walks, it talks, it's in the flesh. It's not saying all of y'all that started that way are God, but it's saying that's the source. We not individuals yet all the way in that state of orgasm. But after we go into the egg, which is the body, and the 9 months pass, now we're all individuals looking to be Satans towards each other. And so the teachings is explaining how you should not get lost in your body, which is an extension of this world. Is what I'm saying making sense? Because I don't want to waste Jews to the ungrateful and, corrupted minded people that think I'm against them because they want dumb stuff to make sense. Like some man walking the planet and gonna fly out the sky like Superman and save y'all. That's not what the text is saying. But if you don't want the truth, you get it. This ain't no force place. You came here, like you could leave. I'd rather you leave than take the jewels and then you get it, don't even do nothing with it. Meaning your understanding don't ever change. You don't give back and, keep everything on the balance. I'd rather you just depart. Stay in ignorance. Other than that, come to terms with reality. That is, can't nobody fuck with me in scholarship. I wouldn't care what costume they got on, how luxurious they try and make their speech. I wouldn't care nothing you say. Ain't nobody walking this earth that could fuck with me in this. This is what I do. I don't think y'all get that. This what I do before you even thought to do it. Whatever y'all talking about, I read through it thoroughly. Trust me when I tell you it ain't ego. Ego is false confidence when you not gonna step up. When you just got that hot air pumping out your mouth. And you convincing yourself you great. This ain't that. This real confidence. Nobody could fuck with me. I put the work in. I'm positive of that. But you go find them, like, and make sure they ain't got ego. Meaning make sure their confidence is real. Other than that, come here and get real when you come here. It's not the play place. A lot of y'all convince yourselves that. Like, this is the play place. It's not. It's the place you come where you gonna get the highest levels of scholarship you could think of. Make sure your brain is, you get it, on a level to receive it. I don't do costumes, none of the song and dance, none of that. If that's what you seeking, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. Wisdom is a real thing, not a song and dance, not a politically correct. It's just the truth and the honesty to self. You get my point? Blackface said, if sperm is God, I didn't say sperm was God. So that's why I said the intellect have to be ripe. But you said if sperm is God, what is the red liquid substance that goes out of a woman every month? Sperm are in seminal fluid. You're confusing the two. This is why a lot of y'all should take the wisdom seriously. That way you could get the science right. Now, sperm are in that substance. I wasn't talking about sperm at no point. I was talking about the substance. That's the main thing I want you to get. When you're dealing with Christianity and that whole knowledge, they're explaining how that substance is God. If you understand that this world is physical in a body, no different than your own individual body, then all existence came into the physical the same way you did, meaning the merging of two substances, one red, one white. The white one is God. The red one is earth, the death. So you could say the white one is life and the red one is death. And a mixing of those two aspects is how you create what y'all are. A blinking light, meaning something that go on and come back off. It go off and come back on every day. It live, it die. A mixing thing. There you go, Henry the Real. I like that analogy. He said like yin and yang. Just like that. Just like day and night make for the whole day. Just like man and woman make for a whole thing when they come to grasp things from the holy perspective. Because that's what holy mean. It means when you're whole. That means you don't have status in your brain, or this thing is above me, or I'm beneath this thing. It's when everything is of equal merit. You follow? When it speaks of the host of heaven, it's speaking of individual things that are of equal merit in one in their accord. Nothing above or nothing beneath anything. And it's saying physical life started because one of those presences in heaven started to view themselves as above, which is the same as below. It's basically just to say that the thing came out of frequency. In that, it become an opposite thing, which is night, or unconscious, or darkness, and physical. All those things being the opposite of what heaven is, which is just, you can say light or consciousness and all the entity within this consciousness. Kind of like the day. It's conscious and we all in it. I'm sorry I had to step back into the shade. The shade is kind of running from me. But hopefully y'all grasp overall. If you're new here, you come here, I explain deep scholarship, ancient artwork, all kind of things. Don't have nothing to do with no side. It don't have nothing to do with no tearing downs of any side. It have to do with the accurate understanding. All the sides is just lost perspectives of a whole. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Pan-African, Hebrews, this thing, that thing. These is just all individual perspectives of a whole thing, meaning they all come from a whole understanding that is one and the same. But you get it? The further away they get from that truth, so you start to get different palings of a lost version of what is. You get my point? It's like a bunch of kids that lose place of who their father is, so then they all start to go out into the world becoming their own thing separate from one another because they lost place of their start. And so you get my point? Come here, you learn, and make sure you give back. I don't got nothing to do with the YouTube algorithms or any other Babylon monkey thing you could think about. My only request if you come here is make sure you give back daily, monthly, weekly. You choose, but make sure you give back. And that's how life works, in a balance. When you break that balance, you start to cause poverty for the self. And so, you get my point? I ain't trying to take anybody's poverty. And so overall, the Jesus teachings, no name needed, meaning there's no name for the thing. That's why in the past they called it YHWH, which is pronounced you. If you sound out the YH together, you get yeah, yeah, yeah. If you sound out the WH part together, you get woo, woo, woo. You put it together like they taught you in school, it sounds out you. It doesn't sound out Yahweh, none of that other made up stuff. YHWH is pronounced you. And if you understand what I said about seminal fluid, you will see why. Like, it don't have no name. The closest thing that it can be called is you. What else can it be called? Its scientific term? It's go before scientific terms. So there you go, Nikita. Yahweh. That's not. It didn't tell you to add no letters. YHWH was the name that the ancient Hebrews called the God, and it never said add letters. You have to solve the riddle. Y'all so dumbed down in today's times, you see my point? YHWH, I just told you what it pronounced. And that whole thing right there is a riddle that man for thousands of years never know. They so lost, they adding letters and stuff like that. Like that. I explain a riddle that have never been decoded, and y'all so dumbed out, y'all don't even realize it because y'all convinced yourselves that y'all theories and guesses are actually the cold-blooded truth. Yahweh and all of that is just guesses. It ain't never been confirmed as that is what YHWH says. And they don't say that. They say what I said it said, you. The teachers have to do with you, not the God. The God don't need you. The God one with you, and you have to learn how this works. You get it? You gonna be left in the dust overall, is what the thing is saying. However you got it. Oh, the God gonna come and save me. The God is trying to save you now, and you gonna either get it or you don't. Once it's over, it's over. Y'all think after the movie end and you still get a do-over or something. Like, no, somebody gonna save me so I could start again. No, you had all this time. But you want to be lost in Babylon and dumb talk. So then you never grasp what was simple. Y'all think the people y'all idolize care about y'all, but they don't. That's why they tell y'all anything. For their own glorification. You think they don't know that they don't know what they talking about? Yeah, they know they don't know what they talking about. But you listening, so and so this all goes deep, but you got to have a mind, you know? You have to have a mind to understand, and you have to be one with the mind explaining it to you. Like, y'all want to go against me and learn from me. So you get it? Everything have to make sense. If you're wondering, like, I don't seem to be grasping what he teach all the way, but I know it makes sense though, but I can't. Something's happening where I'm not getting it. It's because y'all have no honor. Y'all overlook forces in life that have control over y'all, like unconsciousness. Y'all don't control that. There's other forces in life y'all have no control over, and they have impact on y'all. And this goes all the way to the minute things that you don't even notice. Like if you go against if you go against honor, y'all view that as nothing. Like, I could lie, I could do this or that. It don't matter. It do matter. In regards to your soul, start getting scrambled up and having all kind of dumb problems for no reason. And that be like that for that. Then a lot of y'all be emailing me like, Silas, I'm having hardship, dude. My peoples told me I have to worship the Lord. That's why. You don't got no honor. It wouldn't matter what you worship. It ain't got nothing to do with worship. Got to do with honor. Anybody that was dishonorable and suffered, they'll tell you. That man telling you the truth. You better watch your step in every aspect of life and watch how much dishonorable things you do, because you going to have to pay for that shit later. This is not no joke. Y'all think I'm saying it for my sake in this channel. Blood, y'all been dumb since y'all came here, blood. You can't think. I'm just telling you in life, period. Be aware of your dishonor and your unfair behavior, because it's going to cost you later. And that's a result of your greed. Meaning people be unfair and shit like that when they being greedy are hateful. And you get it? You don't want to curse yourself, with the negative emotions, because that's all they are. Curses and blessings start there. A blessing is a good emotional thing. And a curse is when your emotional state is attacking you, not serving you. And so that's all blessings is. And that's all curses is, which is the opposite of that. You can be emotionally or mentally favored in this life, or you can be emotionally and mentally disturbed, which is the curse. In regards to the physical, that don't even matter. You can have everything in life. If the mind is all scrambled out and distorted and disturbed, what are you enjoying? You get it? You get it? Everything start with the mind. The emotional state. The wiser you become, the more you live, the more you start to realize that. Y'all gonna start to realize I had money before. I ain't... Shit wasn't all that. I've been broke before. Some of y'all gonna come to realize, man, it was more fun when I was broke. The rich life is like it's seclusive, it's limited, like that. It was more fun when I was broke, but I ain't trying to go back there. You ain't trying to go back there. It ain't that much funner. But you like, nah, it was more life was happening. You know, niggas is hustling and bustling and fighting and scrapping, and a lot is happening. You know, the struggle have a value. Like struggling have a value in regards to like experience and good memories. Y'all remember the good struggles. Like y'all face light up because y'all overcame it. So it's like I guess the struggles you haven't overcome, then they become your bitterness. But for the most part, you listen to people talk, they like to tell you about their struggles and you know how they overcame it for the most part if you listening closely. Even if they talking about jail or something. Overall, they free telling you. So you get it? They trying to tell you like I'm sure they got good experience in life, but they don't bring that up. Because they probably forgot about that. You live out the good times, you don't remember them. You remember the bad times. You don't really live out the bad times. Meaning some of y'all are worried right now and stressing your mind out about something that haven't even came to happen yet. You making it happen. It ain't happened yet. You living it right now. I mean like that. It's not never gonna happen. You just gonna stress yourself out for nothing. Most of y'all, if you start to pay attention, you'll realize that. Like y'all be stressing myself out, and whatever I'm stressing myself out, it don't even never come to happen. If it do, I damn near made it happen as much as I've been stressing about it. Like that. Y'all don't reflect to see like, hold on. I'm anxious. And that I'm reaching for problems that didn't even happen yet. Maybe come the subconscious. You know, you grow up in hardship maybe and you have a lot of problems. Things always happening. And you become attached to that. And that when you get into a good space, you still preparing for that. And this is what growth is about. You know, understanding where you are presently and letting go the traumas of the past so they don't come back into your present. Like I said, I don't know if y'all grasp things. If anyone wants to give back, click the description. Virgil Lee said, this is the most important video on YouTube when it comes to wisdom. It's whatever it is to whoever received it. Like, so it's the most important video on YouTube to you. That's not to say it ain't the most important video on YouTube. But so the next person say, nah, it's not the most important video on YouTube. This is. You can't say they wrong either. Whatever's important to y'all is important to y'all. You get my point? If it's important to you, measure up to it, live up to it, and you get my point? Know it. That way you be free. You speaking of your soul. A lot of y'all, you know, you feel trapped and caged, and it's all a matter of that. You as free as your mind is. Y'all not living out the chains and the limits of society. Y'all living out the limits of y'all mind. But most people get lost in the world. They start to blame the world for these happenings to themselves, not understanding it's just my mind. I'm living out my mind or what I allow to come into it. And that you living right now, you black, you say, man, white people against me, they got our foot on our neck. That's your mind state, man. Most of y'all don't even have no interactions with white people, but the black nigga that you watch online told you that's your reality. So you say, yeah, that nigga looks smart. He right. Then you live your life in disdain and you get all the results of that disdain, having never come into contact with white people. or having them never do anything to you. You doing most of the bulk of the work on your own self. If I'm lying, well, y'all Pan-African communities and all these different groups that think that white people are y'all oppressors and y'all problem. Now, how many of y'all actually have that problem in your own life? 95% of y'all don't. That is not your day-to-day problem. Your day-to-day problem may be that bottle, that drug you using, that nigga that's your same skin color that keep hating on you, harassing you, shit like that. Do you get my point? Everybody got their own individual problems, and y'all are getting lost in the people selling y'all their own perspective of problems they don't even care about. A nigga telling you the white man your problem, he work with them, he don't even believe and care about nothing he's saying. That nigga just feeding y'all filth. Meaning you just getting fed disdain, envy. That's all it is. It's raising the kids to be envious, angry, and feeling like somebody over them. Can't nobody be over you until you decide you want to crawl on your damn belly. You get it? Nobody over nobody till they decide to bend their legs and get on their knees and all that other stuff. And however far down they decide they want to go, well, that's on you. Other than that, nobody cannot do nothing to you when you in your glory. Meaning when your mind is strong and your emotional state is strong. What they gonna do? You can't control what you do with me. I control what I do. I got to get like dolphins. They're killers. You feel me? Dolphins don't like their conditions, or you try to trap them and make them slaves, they'll kill themselves, meaning they won't come up for air. How gangster is that? Y'all act like y'all G's and stuff. Y'all could get made slaves. Dolphins can't. If they get fed up with it and you ain't giving them a bunch of fish, and it ain't of equal merit for them, then they'll kill themselves, blood. Meaning, if you own a dolphin, I bet you spend most of your day feeding and tending to it. You its slave. It's not yours. You its slave. You feed it, it run around, have fun all day, and it's dependent on you. So it say, I ain't tripping about this too much. It's better than being in the ocean having to fend for my own. They might got a slave now. They think I'm their slave. Now start abusing that dolphin. Do like that lady did in the dolphin project. Have sex with the dolphin, why don't you? That dolphin to kill itself. Now the dolphin she was having sex with killed itself because, you feel me? You can't give vagina to the young. They get attached, you feel me? They mind go. She had sex with a 6-year-old dolphin. Blood fell in love with her. Killed herself. I don't know how many of y'all familiar with that documentary on the dolphin. This is a real story I'm telling y'all. You had scientists back in the day. Like I always tell y'all, the scientists of society are completely stupid. So they decide they're gonna teach a dolphin how to speak English. If you got a half a brain, that is completely stupid. A dolphin's language and understanding is far past man. Meaning the dolphin wouldn't even waste their time trying to learn English. It's just like if somebody came along and tried to teach you dolphin, you'd be like, if you don't get you get it? They too advanced intellectually. A scientist to tell you dolphins are smart and then tell you they got an idea that will only work on the kid or somebody that ain't that smart. If you come to me and I'm an intellectual and you are too, and you say, I think you should learn my language so I can talk to you. If I'm an intellectual, I'm going to say, well, why don't you learn mine? Why I got to learn yours? What make you You need me. So you do it. Look at the dolphin's mind like that. It's an intellectual, so you're not about to like. You have to break that barrier first. The scientists so dumb they just think they could do anything to anybody because they don't understand levels of consciousness. You can't do nothing to something if it's smarter than you. Intellectually, you could just play with your own self, like, and convince yourself, no, I'm getting progress. And never realizing, like, no, they're playing with me. I'm getting nowhere. The joke, the joke is on me. They wise. They have not even begin to interact with anything that I think I'm doing. I'm just entertaining my own self. Meaning the dolphin ain't trying to learn English. The dolphin don't care about nothing. The dolphin done tricked her out of pussy. But none of this is observed. I'm gonna say that again. If you seen that documentary, it's safe to say that she got tricked out of pussy in her trying to teach the dolphin English. Because if you watch the documentary, she had sex with the dolphin to try to get on the dolphin good side so the dolphin speak English. In that, you say, man, the man is dumber than the dolphin because the man intended to teach the dolphin English, and the only thing that happened in the end is the dolphin got him some human pussy out of it. How deep is that? Again, the dolphin got him some pussy from a human. The human got absolutely nothing. But in the human's brain, they say, like, nah, we're really smart. See, we're gonna teach this dolphin how to speak English. Now, if the dolphin have sex with us and do a whole bunch of other stuff to us that we not gonna even view as like the dolphin one, we just not gonna count none of that. The dolphin was abusing her, biting her on the legs, all kind of stuff. The dolphin was living his best. I'm sorry. The dolphin was living his damn best life, and she was sleeping in the damn pool with the damn dolphin wet all day, but somehow they think they smarter than the dolphin. It's just like y'all with y'all pets. Man dumber than animal, but he think he the smartest of the animals. So he get himself into situations where he become the slave to the animal. Y'all pets. Meaning your pet chill in the house all day watching TV and shit while you at work. And nigga talk English and everything. I'm just playing. Imagine that you at work, your pit bull right now turning on the stove and shit cooking. You keep coming home like, damn it, like food, man. I swear I had 4 cheeseburgers left. One of them gone. Dog done fried the burger. He talking English on the phone and all kind of shit. You come home and acting dumb like wagging his tail acting stupid. Cause there's no you dumb like all you gotta do is what a human wants you to all you gotta do is what they want you to do. I say what they want you to hear. They become your slave like naturally. They wanna do anything you want. Like this is how it works with y'all pets, right? If y'all do whatever y'all parents say, then they wanna like give you gifts and stuff, right? So this is my point. Man dumb, his brain don't work that good, but he think he's smarter than everything else. The animals is way smarter than man. They still on telepathy, meaning animals can speak without speaking. A lot of y'all say, man is telepathic, meaning man, I think that's the accurate term, telepathy, when you can speak, when two people can communicate with their minds. That's man's natural language and natural gift, but it get overridden by language. Meaning telepathy is a language. It's called speaking with your mind. Speaking with your mind. It's just one language. Whoever knows how to do it, so they all speak the same language, meaning they all understand each other. Then you have people that are given language, and this overrides that language. It don't even never develop. It's like if you teach a Spanish boy English before he learned Spanish, he never learned Spanish. Like that. We learn language, it overrides our telepathy, which is a language. Remember, telepathy is when you're talking to somebody without opening your mouth. So it's a language. That language get overridden by Arabic, English, and all the many other languages we have. And do you get my point? y'all telepathy or that language don't work because y'all have another one. The same way if a person is Chinese but they learn English, so they don't they don't learn Chinese right. One of the languages is gonna be lacking or both. And so it's a deep thing. Telekinesis is moving objects with the mind. Indeed. Telepathy. Speaking. And so, like I said, there's a lot of things y'all don't understand. There's a lot of things that the scientists that we have don't understand. It's not an insult when I say they dumb. They're dumb. I'll just. I gave you all the examples of the extent of their stupidity. So please don't make it an insult. Even if you're a doctor, a scientist, whatever you are, Tyson, Neil deGrasse Jr., whatever, don't take offense. I'm not insulting y'all when I say like scientists are dumb. You know, that come from school curriculum. I'm not saying you dumb because I want you to be us an insult. Just from my observation, and not that bright, making any sense. Why would you try to teach a dolphin English? That's dumb. The dolphin's smarter than you. Say, how is a dolphin smarter than man? You a pet in a city, and the shit is free, and you don't see like, how is it smarter? How is a pet smart? See, man haven't come to terms to realize he is a pet. Like, you have indigenous men, then you have colonizers come along, and they back in the day they was selling man. So they mix breed him up and domesticate him out however they want. They make him how they want. And make some small, some big, some black, some blue eye, however they want. Whatever features they want. Whatever talents they want. And we want some fast niggas, so they mix it with some fast stuff. Like, this is all we are. But y'all don't, I guess people don't want to view themselves as that. So they say, no, I'm not like the animals that they sell in the pet store. I'm not like the animal in the zoo. Yes, you are. You not out in the wild with the free wild shit. You the conquered thing that they brought to their zoo. A city ain't nothing but a human zoo. It's just the place that you bring your pets. Y'all pets to y'all city owners. Like, they call y'all citizens so y'all don't feel bad. Like, and they tell y'all what to do and shit like that, and y'all do what y'all told. Y'all think what y'all told to think, and you get my point. Y'all play dumb anytime y'all can. Same like if a pet dog came across a wild wolf and the wolf said, "Come on, let's." You don't have to be with that person. They your master. You don't have to be sitting in the house waiting for them to get off work. You can do what you want. Just leave. So the pet gonna be like, no. They feed me and all this dumb shit that they could do on their own. They dependent though. They don't. They dumb. Like, you get my point? A pet is dumber. And if you put a pet out in the wild with the rest of the animals, so the pet probably won't last but 3-4 days, if even that, because it's too dumb. It don't have no common sense or no real logic. It just have like programmings, like whatever the master told it. The shit says sit, roll over, it know that. This how y'all are. Y'all don't have common sense, logic. Y'all just have whatever programming was put into y'all brain. And if somebody speak beyond your program, just get aggravated, start acting like you a broken robot. You know, wailing your arms and shit. Farting and pee-peeing on yourself. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's all simple. Pet stuff. So the mind have to evolve, meaning it have to become aware of its reality. And you get my point? Make proper corrections. Try that. Oh yeah, that works. I was frying for no reason. So are y'all grasping or y'all too programmed minded out? Because I wouldn't know. And so, like I said, everything is simple. Most people are lost into the programmings that they got out of society. Y'all learn things, y'all feel, liberated, smarter than you were, even though what you learning wasn't even right. And you get my point? You kind of be lost in the wrong. But you learn that from society, meaning y'all all learn Santa Claus, then y'all learned that was fake, then y'all still go with it after. Y'all give it to y'all own kids knowing it's a lie. So it just give you some perspective on the psychology of, a Riri. I don't know what other word to use, a Riri. They become a learned truth, sell a lie still, a monkey stuff. Now, whoever gave back, let me thank you. Marcus Smith, Virgil Lee. Those of y'all that do give back, please try not to do it through YouTube. Thank you. Those of y'all that like to not give back, make sure you let me know why, for clarity purposes. Otherwise, I don't understand stupidity. Keep coming back and just doing what you want with no explanation. I don't understand that kind of behavior. I'm grown. And so life is about making sense. Wisdom is as well. Peace and wisdom, Marcus Smith. Thank you again, Chan. Nikita said, "Is the elites plan to take over all indigenous people and domesticate them so there's no indigenous people left?" I don't know how old you are. You get my point? So, why would that be someone's goal? Who would care about that? The goal is to develop cities and take over the damn life. Nobody care about y'all brains is too simple. Like, the elite's plan is to get rid of y'all altogether because y'all are liability. And robots can do the damn job. Meaning y'all not smart enough. Y'all too conflicted. You asked the question, you said about the elites, is that they plan? I'm telling you how the elites view y'all. They higher in logic than y'all. Y'all a liability. Meaning y'all not good slaves and y'all not good free. Y'all like in limbo and stupid. Don't take offense. I'm speaking from the elite's perspective. Y'all just in limbo all dumb and shit. Not fulfilling one thing or the other. And that they say we don't really need man. Man dumb. Like, better off using the animals or robots. At least they make up their mind. Like, man too conflicted. Now that's they plan for y'all to just get rid of y'all. But that's not easy, so and all of that. And the natural disasters and whatever else they can, but you get it? Like I said, it ain't that easy. Man like roaches. You gonna be getting rid of them. They been around since the the roaches been around since the beginning, boy. Good luck. Find another goal. You're welcome, Adonis. Salam, salam. Said I just broke the matrix for you. There's no matrix. When you're dealing with that movie Matrix, which is where y'all got all of that from, that movie just explaining like how y'all are now. Y'all on drugs and y'all online. If you watched The Matrix when it first came out, I think that was like 96. I seen it then. A lot of y'all are new in life. So you're like learning old things now and trying to make sense of stuff from your limited understanding. When that movie first came out, we wasn't in the time of popping pills and online. So the movie was, you get it? Explaining how Neo is like how y'all are now, where he's seeking some greater understanding, but he too dumbed out and online and on drugs to get that part. You see how y'all be like seeking wisdom, next thing you know you a mushroom head? Babbling a bunch of online stuff, talking about you can astral project and all of this? He like that in the movie. He spaced out his mind. Everything you watching in part one of The Matrix is just him lost in his head. None of that happened. There was no Morpheus or he was not in a separate reality living in a ship in space. None of that happened. When you watch the newest Matrix, he's in rehab from the drugs now. He sees his little girlfriend. I forgot her name. And he realizes she's married, has kids, and none of that happened. Blood is just a drug addict. Y'all watch the movie talking about, no, that movie, y'all don't get it. Y'all are the thing that it's talking about. Like, but y'all so smart, you get my point? So let's say one of y'all smart, or somebody you know that's a teacher that's smart, and they be using the Matrix movie to explain stuff. They're dumber than you. They don't get it. You got the blind trying to lead the blind. You got little kids trying to teach little kids. Y'all trying to teach the Matrix and wasn't around when it first came out. Y'all trying to teach Tupac and wasn't alive when he was. But you trying to tell people that was, yeah, her name was Trinity. If you watch the latest Matrix, they show you that Trinity wasn't his girlfriend and none of that happened. Blood was just a drug addict. And he kept relapsing. The drugs messed his mind up overall, which is what happens to most of y'all. Y'all keep slipping in and out of reality. The drugs take you wherever it do. And that you start thinking you wiser than me. My mind's sober. I don't need drugs or none of that to be wise. That's stupid. That's completely stupid if you think you gonna get wise. I don't know. Y'all live y'all own reality. I don't even know what to tell y'all, but you get it. The Matrix movie had to do with like that. The real life matrix that y'all live in is like when colonizers come and they make a grid system. This is, the roads and the street signs and the street lights. And you get my point? The indigenous people that lived in that place, they kind of bound to these matrix, meaning they're bound to the grid system, which is their city blocks. When I say y'all are bound, y'all don't leave y'all corners like that. Most people are not leaving their neighborhood like that. Shit, y'all got cars and just drive around the neighborhood like y'all stuck to it. I mean, like that. You say, why don't the young boy go hang somewhere else? Why he just hang on that corner? Because he's in the matrix, man. The same reason why you ain't aware that all you do is drive around the blocks. You get it? Everybody lost into the matrix, meaning they lost into a cycle that was put onto them like the mice in the maze. They have yet to become aware of that and create their own circle or cycle. Because you always gonna get bound to cycles or a repetition. You have to create it though, so you be satisfied with it. It's not about being lost in limbo and lost outside of a circle. You can't live every day a new day. That's like a bum's life. You have to get an order or a repetition going, but you have to create it. You can't get lost into the ones that the system made. You're not gonna ever be satisfied. Let's say you lost into the cycle of waking up and going to work every day. That's the system cycle that they made for you to fall into. And you're not satisfied with it. Even if you get paid a lot of money, you still like, this shit's stupid. What is this gonna come to? Like that. Until you make your own cycle of repetition for you to fall into, you're not gonna have fun. Now you don't need to quit your job, but you just start with the time that you have outside of it, and then you let that blossom out into the job space time. But you gotta start with the little bit of spare idle time you have, creating good circles of repetition for you to fall into to balance out, how much you hate your job cycle. You follow? And you start to create your own circles or you fall into the matrix of the system. In regards to land and all of that, like I always tell y'all, them teachings come from me. Just to be clear, when I was explaining the land and all of that, I'm not saying people living out on the land come from me. I'm saying a point, like how y'all all getting land, that come from me. People been living out on the land. Rich people, they been buying acres of land, building houses and hiring people to, you get it? That's not nothing new. A lot of y'all get lost in bullshit talk. You say, he ain't started land, people been doing that. You see how y'all all run y'all mouth talking about y'all want to get land? That come from me. Not land, but y'all running y'all mouth about it and it being a goal for you. That come from me. But I want to clarify what I was saying then, because y'all lost in hearing these things secondhand. This is why y'all are getting land and then becoming miserable on it. Meaning outside of your video of the land, you're bored out of your mind, you have no life, you're ready to like come back to society because you like, this is stupid. You grow your food, all of that, but you still bored out your mind. Life ain't about eating. You get it? Most of y'all say, I want to get land so I can grow my own food. Life ain't about eating. After you eat lunch, dinner in Babylon and all of that, you get it? That's not the heights of your day. When you're eating in Babylon, you're not like, oh, this is the greatest part of my life. It's just what you do when you ain't really got one. You eat. The point I'm making is y'all learn in second, third hand, meaning y'all learning things are taught third, second hand without any of the substance or the point. And so let me give y'all the point. When I first was explaining land, it had to do with everybody coming together and not working in the city together. Not one individual quitting a job, but everybody collectively together taking a stand. And the reason I said that is because we do all the jobs. Whoever's gonna cut off your cable if you don't pay it because you're not working, they a working person. Whoever's gonna cut off your lights if you don't pay your light bill because you decided to quit and do this whole collective thing where nobody works, well, whoever's gonna come cut off your lights, evict you, or whatever you could think of, they work. Again, my point was everybody come together as a collective and stop working. And that the system will fall. A lot of people say if we stop working, how we gonna have anything? If everybody stops working together, you can't lose anything because whoever comes to take from you, they a worker too. And they gonna be doing the same thing you doing, which is they are part of the collective of we're not gonna work. In that, Whoever's gonna like come kick you out of your apartment, they somebody that work for the apartments. But they gonna be doing what you doing, which is not going to work no more. You get it? In that, the system will crumble. Whatever y'all have, y'all will still have. Let's say you say, I'm paying on my car, Solace. If I decide not to work with everybody, to boycott the system, what's going to happen when they come repo my car? Whoever come in to repo your car is a worker. They use the workers against the workers. There's nobody governing over y'all except y'all. Y'all lone slave masters and don't realize it. And y'all do this for the system. It's like the overseer and the slaves on the plantation. They just govern themselves. Nobody's watching them. The plantation master, he went back to Europe. They're there alone. They don't get it. The overseer, he one of them. He tell them what to do till master get back. He don't realize like shit. We can all just leave. There's no real system here in America. This plantation ain't attached to that one. We could just walk off this shit. Blood has no real power. He's just a goofy individual that built a house on this land. Like that. Y'all govern each other. When the police come and stop y'all from doing stuff, they workers in the city. They the same thing you is. They just got a different job. Like that. If everybody stop working, the system will crumble, meaning y'all will have everything y'all have now for free. You just have to keep up with it. Now, in regards to land, I was saying that black people as a whole have to start coming together in large groups, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, and purchase land together in a whole so you can build a whole community. I wasn't talking about living backwards in the past like it's back in the day. I'm talking about real building. So y'all can have the same kind of life y'all have in society outside of it, where it's free. Y'all dig y'all well, y'all get y'all own septic system going, y'all own lights going. Y'all build your own roads in that, area of your land and start to slowly over time develop y'all own community with y'all own rules that have to do with balance. Balance is fair. Y'all being fair with nature and one another. Keeping everything going. Maybe you don't want to build roads. You want to build something else, but you get my point? Y'all creating whatever community y'all gonna be happy in, and y'all start adding things to it. Because most people, they just sit around their neighborhood talking to their friends. That group can go get their own land and drink and smoke like they do on the corner on their own land, free of all the bullshit, while doing constructive things with their time. The young boys hanging on the corner could be building shit, but they can't do that in Babylon. They'll get locked up. But on their land, they could sit right on their land, selling their weed, smoking their weed, drinking, talking to their people while building. There ain't no rules for them. And that they can build however it works for them. Listening to music, working, whatever. Everybody pick a chore for the land. I'm gonna be the person that mow the lawn. There about 10 of y'all that handle that. Those that build, they build. Those that farm, they farm. And y'all create a community. And everybody play their part and everybody equal. Have your elders or those that's intellectuals governing and keeping everything in the balance and in order. That was my point of telling y'all to get land. It had nothing to do with y'all getting land as individuals and then competing with each other to say like, I have land. I could have told you before you got land as an individual that you shouldn't do it because you're going to be bored. And I did tell y'all this when I was first explaining this. I said, don't do it on your own. You're going to go crazy. You're going to be out there bored by yourself. You're not going to have nothing to do. And you're going to start talking to yourself and bugging the fuck out. And I know all of this from experience. This came from me. Like, y'all overlooking all of that. Like, he's the first one that was teaching from out on the land. And he's the first one that truly did bring all of this to our attention. There was no Eligio nature boy. There was the wise servant of nature. And he took that. Just like the rest of y'all all borrow from it, but y'all distort the message. I don't mind if you borrow when you take, but at least know what I'm talking about so you be in line. That way everything get fulfilled like it need to. And that Eligio and them wouldn't have been out in Costa Rica or wherever they was at, sleeping in tents and all that dumb shit, renting Airbnbs, they would have purchased the property and slowly over time learn balance and how to work together with each other instead of having sex and catching diseases and shit. Y'all bringing Babylon out in the nature where there's no order and just disorder and a whole bunch of, statuses where this person rule over that person and then it becomes Babylon in nature. And that wasn't the intentions of what I was speaking about. It's about everybody putting their pride aside and coming together for the greater, which is our descendants behind us get to have some real ownership and some real freedom away from, all the systematics and all of this dumb stuff that we fall into, and learn how to work together. When I say work together, I mean like, see how y'all work together to promote y'all agendas, but no building is happening and nothing happening? I mean working together, building and making things happen. And so I just want to clarify that. A lot of y'all, a lot of people when I speak in that way, they like to throw egos out there to kind of get y'all off the point of what I'm saying. I don't care if y'all dumb yourselves out or step on the wisdom. Y'all distorting y'all own mind. I'm saying something about it so that you don't distort your own mind. If you learning whatever I said secondhand, you're not learning what I said. You're learning a distorted version of it. And you're not going to get no glory out of that. Use what I just said as an example. If you purchase land, you're not getting no glory out of that. Use Little Boosie as an example. Let's say you got my book RDF. Let's say Little Boosie would have bought my book RDF. He would have had like a street built already with houses on that land. And he would have been in the process of becoming his own city owner in Atlanta. Or at least that would have been a county in the city. But he nowhere in that, he not even going that direction. Meaning black people could be city owners just like white people. Just have to develop up the property. Now, if you buying property in the city, then that's what you might as well do. Otherwise, what the fuck is you gonna buy y'all that property for to be right in the city still and can't really do what you want because they got mad restrictions on the land? You get my point? That part. Now, I'm sure Boosie could still do it, If he do, make sure y'all give back for these jewels I give y'all. I ain't got the bread y'all got, but I got a mind y'all don't got. So everything balanced, you get my point? I don't mind sharing a little bit of knowledge. You share some of that wealth you got, and let's balance everything out. But he's still in position where he could get certain loans from the bank. Maybe he bring a white person in for face card value, and he's still in position where, he could get certain loans from banks for developing his property into like a small, it's too big to be a subdivision, but he could have 3, 4. And then it'd be like it'd be Boosie County you get it, Fulton County or something like that. However they decide to do it, but you get it? In that, whatever stores is in his property, whatever people living in his property, whoever on his property, of course, I would have told him to do it further out. You want to go outside of city limits. That way it be your city. In that, he could tax the residents the same way cities do. Whoever working on his land, got a store on his land, they got to pay property taxes and all that. And that's separate from what I was explaining about us coming together and getting land for our descendants and working together. This is just like little individual shit that y'all can be doing, those of y'all that have money to. And they go way deeper than that. Like I said, if you get the book and read through the book, you'll grasp what I'm saying. Go way deeper than that. But that's just like scratching the surface, meaning y'all working backwards, embarrassing yourselves. Y'all got money and shit, but y'all dumb. And y'all block people with all the ideas. I don't understand that logic though. So you get my point? I'm just here to make everybody better. You get it? I ain't here to hate on nobody. Little Boosie getting money, I'm not here to hate and be like, man, he getting more money than me, so let me hate. Blood, I can make you better with what you got. Make me better too. And that go for anybody. Whatever you doing right now, no matter how much money you got. I could make that shit go up 10 times, blood. My mind different. But you get my point? We got to balance this out a little bit. And so, like I said, anybody can reach out, get a one-on-one, have a conversation, or whatever the case may be. But I got to start making sense. We just wasting time, like, you know? Y'all looking for get rich quick scheme plan things online. That's not real. It's about patience and, you know? When you talking about wealth, you talking about later. You talking about you building up for later. And so you get my point? Wealth is a long-term thing, so can't no get rich quick. Don't got nothing to do with longevity. You gotta understand the difference. Get rich quick coincide with get broke quick. Lose that shit soon as you get it. But when you're talking about wealth, which is a longevity thing, so it's gonna take time to build up on that longevity. When I say time, let's say you starting to build a city. So it's gonna start with one block, then develop in another block, and another block. And it's gonna take time. This might take 100 years, but you still gonna be earning off what's built as you go. You follow? Your descendants is gonna be eating off what they building in their time, just like you eating off what you building and establishing in your time. And every generation got something already established that they could build on and eat off, while eating off what was left behind. You get it? Like that. It's like my wisdom. When I'm dead, it's gonna still be here, but y'all can't say the worth it's gonna have then. And my kids gonna have it. You get my point? They don't have a mind now to get that. Like, damn, my dad is actually a school on his own, separate from Babylon, and he put 10 years work into it. Meaning I got hella curriculum for a school. Like my own school. I'm my own Google. Whatever you ask Google, you could just come to my channel. That's the answer. The answer dead D on the law. But the point I'm making is, let's say you was my kids. I got my own kids though, and they the same brain like y'all probably. But you wouldn't have a mind to say, damn, my dad building that up. When I'm 60 years old, my damn kids gonna be eating off that shit he left. All that wisdom. They keep redoing it and putting it into different books and different things, and I got the copyrights and all the ownerships for it. And when he was doing that, I didn't even know what he was doing. I thought he was just playing online. Like that. You gotta have a mind. Like, you gotta know how this works, but you gotta pay attention first. Everybody that's falling into what everybody doing, they ain't gonna have nothing to do. It's about new things, and you get my point? Mastering your own thing where can't nobody follow up. I ain't worried about none of y'all messing with me with the wisdom, because a lot of y'all come from me. Like, I was who inspired you. Your 607 unks and all these people, I'm their inspiration. You can hear when they speak. I seen the title of a video saying 607 unks say Chat GPT is the demons. That come from me. I just said that shit. But I've been saying it though, but I just said that. And so it's like that. Adonis said you a scholar. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm a scholar. Not whatever y'all be making me to be. I'm a reader. I have a deep understanding of, different readings. But not just a scholar, I understand different aspects of life. Whether we speak in your own self or the outer world. And overall, you get it, I'm a thing that ain't understood yet. I don't either, so you don't have to ask me. But whatever's in control of wisdom in life, you get it? So it bestowed it upon me. I don't know why, but meaning that's the truth of the matter. If you ever wonder, like, how he gets so wise, I don't know, really. I can't even tell you. I can just tell you how I hold a frequency. Outside of that, I ain't did nothing. You get my point? Like, some of y'all probably got a mind. You say, man, that nigga sold his soul of demons. If it was that easy, you know? But it wasn't. That's not what happened. It's strange. I can't tell you what happened because nothing did. I just, whatever I ain't know, I knew. Like that. I read the Bible a bunch of times. I didn't understand it. That shit was like not making no sense. But then one day it just did. I don't mean like one day I picked it up and read it. I mean all that I read all that time, just one day it made sense. I understood it. One day I just woke up and understood like what Jesus was. But if you say like how, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I've just gotten used to it over the course of the years. Like whatever I ask myself, I get the answer. That's how it works, kind of. Henry the Real said, "You definitely sold your soul, dude. What y'all be talking about is not realistic stuff. You get my point? I be talking about shit that's not realistic. Like, I know some of y'all young, you like, no, selling your soul is real. You got that offline. That's TV. Don't overlook that. You get my point? In regards to selling of souls and all of that, like I said, nothing happened. Even people that know me in real life, they'll tell you the same thing. Man, I was around that nigga, nothing happened. He just was smart as fuck one day. This is why most people be confused. Like, how the fuck Cheese so smart like that? How that happened? Because they don't get like what moment. I didn't see this nigga doing nothing strange. It just, he his same person, just wise. You get it? If I would have sold my soul, I'd be different. Like, of course, y'all don't know me, but you get my point? If you knew me before teaching and you know me now, I'm the same person. There's no different person. I just know mad shit that you would probably say, like, how does he know that? Normal person can't know that. But in regards to like me, let's say I sold my soul, I'd probably have like the characteristics of like the demon or something. I wouldn't be myself all the way no more. Like I said, anybody that know me, I'll tell you, blood the same. He dressed the same. He still the same. He ain't lose his who he is as a person. He just wise. Like the nigga still fly and shit like dope boy fresh. Like he didn't even lose that. Everything is the same. Like if you hang around me and you know me from the past, you gonna be like, yeah, yeah, bro. It's actually the same way I remember him to be. He just seemed like he know hella shit, but I don't know how. And so I'm telling you how. I have no clue. The control of that. You know how y'all say like God and all of that, and y'all believe in God. This y'all like a understanding. I believe in God too, but just not how y'all say it. Y'all don't have no name. You disrespecting God when you putting names on him. Lesser things have names, like people, and pets and shit. And it's a disrespect to name God. It's like to say God your pet indirectly, but people ain't intellectuals. Subconsciously, they don't understand. So they gonna disrespect God and all kind of things in ignorance. That's why I always say your ignorance is a disrespect. Don't ever think it ain't. Just because you don't know something, don't look at it as I don't know. It's a disrespect too. In that, when you naming God and all that, you disrespecting him. You basically telling him he's some shit that everything that's a pet is. A little baby get named by their parents. They shit is a lesser thing to the parents. People tend to name things that's beneath them, that they feel like they own. Y'all ain't walking up the shit above y'all talking about, man, your name going. You like, I ain't about to tell Blood that he gonna beat the shit. You get it? He got power, Blood. I ain't playing with him. You have to view God in that way all the way. Meaning people from the cities don't really believe in God. They just programmed to speak how they do. But You could tell in their actions they don't really believe in whatever they say they believe. It ain't all the way right. But when you get to my levels of understanding, you get my point? The details is important, you know? The small things that y'all overlook. You about to catch crabs? You about to catch crabs? Oh, you about to do that? Okay. Do your thing, man. Right here too. Okay. Peace and wisdom, man. I apologize. And so, like I said, I don't. If you know me, I don't do the mushrooms and all this drug stuff to be wise. I don't play with the little games and stuff y'all do. I'm saying that so you could grasp. My knowledge don't have nothing to do with no strange shit. I just don't know. You get it? That's it. You don't know either. That's the difference between us. I ain't gonna make up something to fulfill the void in the meanwhile. You get it? Whatever the force are, which I like God, let's just say to make it simple. When God want me to know that, then I will. In that, I know the power of God. Cause I know everything, but I don't know that. You get it? It can't none of y'all answer that for me. In that, I have to respect the power. Like, okay, there is something that knows something that I don't, and it's that. I can just tell you how to hold a frequency, meaning I try to keep everything true and fair, meaning I try to be fair. And I try to stay honest with myself and others. And that I don't look to take advantage of nobody. If I see something a little, unfair, I try to balance it out. And you get it? That seems to keep my mind open and receiving. And when I was moving however I wanted to, where, if I like you, then I'll be nice to you and fair to you. And if I don't know you or don't like you, then you can get whatever you get. It wasn't working for me when I had that kind of mindset when I was younger, because that was my mindset when I was younger. I'm gonna get mine and have my way, and you get it. If I like you or got love for you, I'm gonna be fair with you, and I'll probably let you take a little bit of advantage, but I'm gonna make up for it on that other side with the people I don't know and the people I don't like. And that's how most of y'all kind of are now. The people you love and like, you kind of let them take a little bit of advantage of you if you in place to. But you balance it out with the people you don't know and don't like that. You take advantage of them or whatever, do whatever you want in life to get yours. That way was interfering with me understanding like I do now. So that's why I tell y'all you just gotta be fair and balanced in your ways. And that's the only real rule in life. And every other rule it's an extension of that or have to be weighed to that. You say murder is wrong. Yeah, it's wrong because when you put it to balance or fair, then yeah, it's not fair. That's the only way you could see if anything is good and if it measure up to balance. Meaning is murder fair? You looking to see if murder is right or wrong. Is it fair for you to take somebody's life or take anybody's belongings of any sort? If you got a brain, you say, yeah, it's not right to do that, but people do it, and that murder wrong. Why? Because murder got to do with stealing. You so lost in stealing, you steal a person's life force now. That's why they say if you'll steal, you'll kill, because killing is the same thing, just an extreme version of stealing. You done lost yourself so much, you stealing niggas' lives. You don't want their possessions, you just gonna take their whole life. So like that, if you'll steal, you'll kill, because it's the same. It's the same thing, big baby. You got to know that. And so, I don't know. I have to grasp. But like I said, if Boosie anybody hear what I said, and you move on what I do, you can always reach out and get like the always understandings of what I was speaking about. But Just try to grasp, man. Y'all lost in the competing with each other. That ain't gonna help you. I can't be competing with each other and then having talks about unifying and taking over, and that don't even go together. So kind of grasp. You said it's not that true. I don't know what you're saying. Equilibrium said question a Christian. Oh, question a Christian on why they worship the death of God and see how quick they get scrambled. There you go, champ. All you gotta do is question the lie, and it's gonna crumble. You could question the truth all day. You just gonna aggravate yourself because that shit gonna still keep being right. Like how y'all been doing with me for the past 10 years. Desperate to find an angle for something I said to be wrong. But you just can't. Like, you just have to convince yourself you did, so you just be satisfied. But in reality, you didn't. Like that. Truth is the truth. Ain't no going around that. The truth is reality. You either on reality time or you ain't. Dag, I'm supposed to be going to the Poconos in a little while. I'm gonna have to end this soon. But if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask before I depart. Like I said, everything here is just for clarity. So if you a Christian, you're welcome to come here. I ain't against Christianity. I'm against the wrong understandings y'all have of Christianity in the daytimes. And when I say I'm against it, I mean I just explain it right. Outside of that, you do what you want. Just make sure you give back when you come here. That's all I require. Or that's my only request. And that's for me. Meaning y'all don't have to reach for stupid scenarios on things. Everything's simple with me. You bring your ass here, you give back. For me, you getting the wisdom for you. I don't need the wisdom, I already got that. And I can live it at any time, but I can't live it and teach it. You get my point? I can't teach y'all and then can't hear and talk. You can't project and receive. And you get my point? If you confused when I say I can't teach and live. You get my point? They two opposite things. One is a projection, the other one is, an action or a reception of a sort. And for me to be in the wisdom, I can't teach y'all. It interferes with that whole frequency. I have to do one or the other. Teacher retired. Look at it like that. Or work and retire. You can't be retired and work. You gotta do one or the other. When you're done working, then I guess you'll retire. When you're done retiring, I guess you'll work again. But you get my point? Said, what's your opinion on relationships and marriage aspect? I see one of y'all earlier asked, what's... Oh, you asking the same shit over and over. But you said, Adana said, what's your opinion on the men versus women conversation, relationship-wise? Babylon Monkey talks. More separation games. You get my point? Your man look at himself as something different than the woman and vice versa. Is the problem right there. Last time I checked, we all came out that same old vagina. And that vagina was ejaculated out of a penis. Meaning women come from their fathers just like men. Born out of spirit first, or liquid. And then the physical matter is born out of the woman later. The point I'm making, we talking about the same thing. Meaning there are no men and women, there's just halves to wholes. The man get lost in their ego so much, then you get my point. Y'all start talking like y'all fulfilled on y'all own, and then y'all competing with the half to make the whole. It's like day and night competing with each other, not fulfilling the day. So this is what men and women of Babylon in the daytimes are doing. Having arguments between men and women. Women need to learn their place and fall into that place so they could teach the children about place and order. And that's that. And that's really the problem in the daytime. Kids don't have no order. They think they above the mama, and the mama thinks she above the daddy. And that's the real problem. Everybody's an ego. If you the woman, you say, I don't agree with that. Well, you already have it how you agree with. So how's that working? You get it? Y'all will complain in the daytimes and have it the way that you crying for. Like, and so again, if you a woman and you say, I don't agree with that, women don't need to get in their place. Cool. Y'all ain't in y'all place right now. Are you aggravated and frustrated, and is everything in order for you? No? Then shut the fuck up and do what the man said. When women learn their place, then you it's that simple. Y'all want to talk too much. Y'all want to be the boss too much. Everybody want to be the boss but don't have the merit to be. I'm the type of boss I'll step down. Be the boss. Let me see how you do it. You got it. Like that. I'm not saying men are right in today times, but I'm saying the men start as kids and they taught they goofy womanly ways by women. So they just coming back to haunt women. You a woman, you say I don't like how men think. You raised men. So what are you saying about your raising skills? Because this is basically just what you raised now coming back to bite you. You didn't raise no order in place and respect and all the things that would matter and keep you secure. You taught whatever you did, which is probably hate and bitterness and anger. And now it's come back to bite you when you dating a man. That man being raised by a woman just like you raised women. She being plagued with the same problems you have, mentally and emotionally. And it trickled down. And so everything I'm saying is just a help, meaning if you a woman, we don't have to debate. Whatever you pumping, you already living. So if it's good, it's good. But if it ain't, then you just take what I said. I got experience, so you don't gotta look at it like he's some young kid, don't know what he talking about. Oh, I know exactly what I'm talking about. From there, man gotta know how to lead. Man think he lead through money. Women don't respect you because you got money. They'll just do whatever you say or act like they care what you say because you got money. But there's a difference between a woman respecting and caring what you say and pretending like she do so she can receive from you. A man got to learn how to be a man again where his word is his word and what he say is law. And his mind and his emotional state and all the things that the woman got to live out is good and just where it have a worth to her. Can't be emotionally unstable and mentally unstable, beating her up and doing all kind of stupid stuff that ain't getting y'all nowhere, and then want to be the man. It don't work like that. If you want to be the man, you got to be that. And so to be the man, you got to understand humility, meaning you got the power and you can't abuse it. You got to let, the woman, the kids learn certain things on their own merit from their own mistakes. Keeping your own merit and, it's like I said, man, humility is a power thing. Don't have nothing to do with weak. Just like y'all have ego as the higher thing and humility as the lesser thing, but it's reverse. Ego is false confidence. Confidence is a righteous thing. Ego is a false aspect of it. It got to do with weakness. Humility got to do with strength, meaning you got to be strong to be humble. Think of the moment when your kids start acting like they extra grown and you like, I'm 2 seconds from slapping their face off. But I've been there before when I was younger with my parents. I'ma have a little restraint, let them have their little moment. Cause life ain't about ruling every moment. Let them do their thing, and you get it? That's your moment of humility, cause you could have just crushed them out. You could have kicked them out, you could have did anything you wanted. They your property technically. Like that. Humility have to do with strength. It fall in line with confidence, and you get it? Ego fall in line with insecurities and nothingness. Y'all use these terminologies in the wrong context. When y'all saying somebody got ego like Floyd Mayweather, y'all saying it from a great, y'all not saying that Floyd Mayweather's not the best and he just hot air. That's not what y'all intending to mean when y'all say he have ego. You get it? But that's what it would mean if he had ego. That mean he can't fight worth shit. He just full of talk. He just think he that nigga in his own mind. But that's not the case with Mayweather. He whooped everybody's ass. Technically, y'all would have ego, meaning y'all the ones just hot air talking around the truth, which is that dude is great. Whether you like him or not, he's the best. Because his work say so. You could say he ducked whoever you want. For whoever you say he ducked, there's somebody he showed up to that'll whoop your ass and whoever you idolize ass. You get it? That's it. You say he ducked Pacquiao. That's fine. He whooped Canelo's ass. Zab Judah's ass. Everybody you could think ass. De La Hoya. When he whooped De La Hoya's ass, there's nobody y'all can bring up to be like, well, he ducked this person. He was done after he whooped De La Hoya's ass. Everything y'all got after that was just a gift. He could have clocked out right then. But this young generation don't know who De La Hoya is, so they don't get it. He said, like, nah, Salah's bugging. What you mean after he fought De La Hoya, he already made his point? He made his point after he fought De La Hoya. De La Hoya is the biggest cash cow. He before Canelo, Mayweather, and everybody you could think of. You see how they say, like, Tank is the cash cow? Before all these niggas, you had a nigga named De La Hoya. And he whooping everybody's ass. And that's when Mayweather became who he is, when he whooped him out. And it was over after that, truly. Whoever he whooped after that didn't really matter. But you get my point. I'm just giving y'all an example of ego and humility. When you calling somebody, when you say somebody have ego, it have to mean that they weak and they won't show up and they not what they saying. They gonna duck and it's just talk for them, like the ego. It's not real confidence, which have to do with work and real belief. Like that. And that, when y'all saying people have ego, make sure it match that. Make sure that they represent that. Like, you just hot air talking, you don't believe yourself. Other than that, if you saying somebody got ego and they willing to do whatever and they ready and you just talking, you got the ego. Really, they're just confident. And that's that. And I'm sure after they lose or whatever happened, they still gonna have confidence in everything that they have accomplished, because it don't go nowhere. Confidence don't go nowhere. They will just come to know, like, yeah, there's one better than me, but I'm still better than everybody else. Like that, it's all works. Shoot for heaven and find yourself somewhere amongst the stars. Who cares if you the highest star, as long as you up there, like. And that's what the confidence do. They just believe in themselves and do all they can do until they meet their match. Then they say, okay, I know my place now. And it's high as fuck up. So, like, I'm good. You follow? Like that. If Mayweather lose tomorrow, it wouldn't matter. Did all he did. It's still good for as long as it's good for. Just like everybody's work is as good as good. It's good for as long as it's good for. Whatever Roy Jones did is still good. You follow? And he in whatever place he is amongst the stars. And ain't nobody got nothing to be complaining about and hating about nobody on. You get my point? Everybody, wherever they fall in the heavens, are the stars. You know, those that apply themselves. And As long as you apply yourself, that's all that matters. As long as you challenge yourself to see where you truly fall in the heavens or, in the heights of things. So this is everything. And wherever you fall in the sky, you feel me? You still up. You still made your worth. It ain't about being the best. It's about the best being the goal. The insecure person get lost into what they think they could never be. But it ain't about no individual being better than no individual, but it's just about perfection and the best being the goal and the limit, like what everybody's to reach for. And whoever can push that best higher and higher, so this is the glory for everybody. We all got more to measure up to on mental and spiritual levels. When I say spiritual, I'm speaking emotional. And so, no, hopefully y'all grasp, but Nikita said a man can survive without a woman in his life. No, love, it's reverse. Women cannot survive without men. Women are like children, but y'all go through denial. So deep down, all women know they want a man. I wouldn't care how much you play with yourself, like, I don't need no man. When y'all say that, the way y'all say it, it make it clear that y'all do, and you really do want one. Women worry about men and having a man. That is not a thing for men if you have a woman or not. You got caught, nigga. That's how it is for men. I'm saying that for if you a woman, you got the wrong perspective, meaning you have made a man you, and now you're competing with your own creation, and you just making a folly for yourself. You get my point? You're viewing a man like a woman, so you say men need women. You overlook men don't really like women. They like y'all pussy. When we become familiar and attached to y'all, in regards to just liking y'all to have y'all around, no. If you a woman, don't take offense. You married right now, your husband don't like you how you think. He familiar with you. A man's love ain't like a woman's. We become familiar and we love that familiar. Y'all know the word I'm reaching for. In regards to liking you, men don't think like that. Like, ooh, I like this, that's woman stuff. Man just do what he do, and you either getting on his nerves or you ain't. In that, most men, if you ask 90% of men right now, and they can be honest with no punishment to follow, well, most of them will say, I'd rather be single, and I could just have sex with whoever I want, because my wife getting on my nerves. Like, she want to do mad dumb shit. Whatever she want to do, she keep including me. She don't want to just do shit on her own. Like, I do whatever I want myself, and when she do something, I gotta help her. Like, why? Why can't she just do what she want to do on her own? Like that. If you a woman, when you about to do something, do you not include the man? You about to wash clothes. Now you bothering him talking about, can we wash clothes? He's in his mind like, why you can't just do whatever you think of on your own? When I'm doing what I want to do, I don't bother you. When you doing what you want to do, now here you come bothering me. Like, why can't we just do whatever we doing together, and whatever you want to do and think of, just do it? Why? Because you think the lawn need to be mowed, now I got to do it. Why don't you do it? See, women overlook that. They overlook how annoying they are, how dependent like a child they are. In that, they don't realize, like, well, men don't really like y'all, not maliciously. Y'all are just annoying. Y'all are always looking for a problem or something to fix that y'all not gonna fix. You want the man to, you want the man to fix it. We trying to chill. We don't have a problem with every little thing that's happening. We don't care. Once we got us a woman, we tapped out. Whatever's going on in the world is the world's fucking problem. I got my lady blood and I'm going home. That's a man's mind. A woman's mind is reversed. Once she get a man, now she want to get out into society and show off. Man ain't trying to show off his goods. He like, why we can't just stay home? What do you want to do all of that for? We already got what we need to be having going. So like that, women are annoying, but they don't understand that. And you can't tell them that because then they're going to take big offense. They too emotional. And that man can't even communicate with his women. So it makes y'all even worse. Meaning the man say, I can't talk to my wife because she got like trigger words and shit. If I say anything, she liable to lose her damn mind. You feel me? She have to be right. Even when she ain't right, just act like she right. Because other than that, she gonna nag me out. And that most men is bottled up. So they just don't even want to deal with y'all. They start drinking and shit and beating you up because they like, I can't take it. Most women don't understand the stress and pressure they put on the man. He say like, if I don't have you, I don't have no problem. You keep leaning on me. Half the time, y'all ain't even bringing nothing to the table. Just annoying people, you know. Women annoy their own self. Like a woman to tell you like, I don't fuck with chicks. And then tell you why. A woman to tell her son, man, don't trust these hoes. They ain't no good. But then when a man telling him like, yeah, you kind of got the ways of the same shit you was, you know. You was right when you said what you said about women, but check this out, though. You are one. So, like, can I tell you something? They don't want to hear that shit. They wasn't talking about theyself. They was talking about all other chicks, not them. Like that. Women are unreasonable. Y'all have too many errors in today times, and y'all are not trying to work any of them out. Y'all trying to force y'all way, and it just creating a whole... Y'all dying bitter. It's because of that. You trying to force your way. You're not trying to be fair or understanding anything. And do you get my point? It creates friction. Most men are stronger than y'all, so then it's gonna be their way. You he being fair with you as much as he can, but he could just do whatever he want and ain't nothing you could do about it. Women don't realize that their power is not real. It's a play on kids or a play on something else that they think a man need that he don't actually. And then you get it, the false sense of power, and then they just start to mess up their reality. They become bitter. It's a deep thing. Nikita said, you men are pathetic. I try to give y'all the benefit of the doubt, but y'all make it hard. Yeah, you kind of lost into the stupid stuff. You know, you're not listening to nothing was said to see like if you measure up to what was said. Correct your errors before you complain, or you know, complain while correcting. I'm not sure. Nikita said, women got the coochie and ass that all you men care so much about. That's what we bring to the table. You're a prostitute, but don't take offense. I'm going to explain why I said that. Let the plane pass. You will know a woman has no self-respect and no mental value or emotional value when she think her pussy have a worth. A prostitute think her pussy got a worth and nothing else, so she sell it. When a woman tell you, I bring my pussy to the table, she a prostitute. Or she has the same mind as one where she thinks her pussy have a worth or something she can sell herself with. A real woman ain't gonna sell her pussy, period. You gonna get that poom poom if your ass clean, straight, and good in your ways. Not cause you got money or you taking care of her. They wouldn't care about that. You gonna get they pussy when they love you and respect you. And they think like, you know, They don't look at it like this is my value. A prostitute view her pussy as value. Now a lot of you women, y'all like to hear things and repeat it. And this is why y'all had no value. You tell a man I bring my pussy to the table, then when he tell you, well, a prostitute bring their pussy to the table, well, what's the difference? I said what you bring to the table. You start talking about pussy. Huh? I'll say it again. Man asks you what you bring to the table, you start talking about your pussy. He ain't talking about it though. So now you look stupid but don't realize it. Then when the man say, oh, you a prostitute basically, what you gonna say? No, I'm not. Prostitutes is the only thing selling they pussy. That's the only thing that got worth to them, where they will put it on the table for something. I can't see a chick that got self-respect and the worth saying I bring my pussy to the table. She gonna say I bring my credit, my bank account. You get? She gonna start naming her worths before she get to her pussy. And so you could tell a chick that ain't got no self-value when they say, I bring my pussy to the table. You about to get a prostitute-minded woman, and you can't marry no prostitute. You gotta start here, Nikita. I'm older than you probably, and you probably didn't have a father in your life. And so you should shut up and listen. Get jewels that you probably didn't get when you was younger. Maybe you didn't have a father. You don't have to take offense. I ain't have a father in my life either, but I listen to older men. You get my point? I always had a mind for that. Where I'm like, okay, I ain't got a pops to teach me things, but there are men around. And I see the ones that's on the right track and right accord, and you get my point, I get my jewels there. And maybe you ain't got that kind of mind. So now you trying to debate with somebody, me, that you should be looking to learn from. And vice versa. When I hear a woman speaking and she's saying something of merit and worth, my ears is all open. I had a mother and she taught me a lot of things, but learning don't stop. And so if you a woman, man, and you young in age, let's say maybe you're not so young in age, when a man above your age is speaking or one with experience, it ain't about you trying to debate them so much, but get the lessons that you would have gotten when you was younger and get the balance you would have gotten when you was younger. Meaning most women in the daytime, they ain't had no man in their life, and that they imbalanced. They perspective on things. It's one-sided only. This is why they don't listen to nothing men say in regards to making points, because there was no man around for them to care about the man's point. It was just their mother's point and her bitterness. In that, do you get my point? Most women are imbalanced. There's no correcting any of their error. They look to balance out their error by seeking out the error in others. Like that's gonna do something for them though. And that ain't never gonna do nothing for nobody. Life ain't about finding error in others. It's about finding the error in self, correcting that error, and moving yourself out of the errored space. Because birds of a feather flock together in environments and all that other stuff. You follow? And so you gotta start making sense in life. Me and everybody in general. Just think more. Be around level-minded people. And they'll tell you the truth on things. They're not gonna get lost into whatever they are. I'm a man. I ain't saying what I'm saying because I'm a man. I'm saying what I'm saying because it's gonna help my daughter. It ain't just gonna help me and other men. What I'm saying gonna help. It's coming from a place of that. I see how bittered out and broken women are. And y'all brokenness from y'all. So I'm saying what I'm saying. Y'all can get y'all own self together, because at the end of the day, all men is attached to women. It ain't about relationships. We all got mothers and sisters and daughters. And that when I'm speaking overall, mainly from the perspective of the parent that I am. So I had a girl first. And that, you get it, everything I think is from that perspective. Like, my daughter had both parents, so she do have a level mind whenever she want to use it. Maybe she flip-flop between the two. Like, she go into her daddy mindset when she want to get this result in life. And then she flip into her mama mindset when she want to do that. Maybe she haven't balanced it all the way out yet. I don't know, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying most women, there's imbalance there, you get my point? And it becomes y'all own problem. But y'all seek to fix it through fixing others. Just fix the self. Become aware of the realities of self. Yeah, the woman is the first teacher. That's why her mind got to be right. Otherwise, she teach the man wrong. Then he grow up to treat her wrong. Then she be complaining about the man again. Fuck you talking about? You did that. You don't like how men treat women, y'all raise men. Y'all bully and interfere with men from raising their kids. So you can't lie about that. Most women do that. And so if you're going to bully the man out of raising his kids and you going to do all the raising, at least make sure you get something from the man. At least make sure you learning something from the man so you know that shit could balance out. You can't be all the way a fool, you know, all the way emotional. This is what women is. I ain't gonna even say they fools. You just can't be all the way emotional. This is real life. More than that, y'all are living out y'all emotions. It's not like y'all have whatever y'all complaining about. Y'all already got it y'all way. So that's not working for either side, y'all way. So you got to try another way, you know. Y'all lost into a lot of Kevin Samuels damage that he did. Meaning a lot of things Kevin Samuels was saying was from the perspective of a man scorn. Maybe he was a nerd when he was young and he didn't get all the bitches that he wants. So there was a disdain there for y'all. You get it? And y'all a little bit butt hurt from things like that. And that when certain men is speaking from a balanced perspective, then y'all taking offense. It become a whole Kevin Samuels thing all over again. Y'all still scarred from that. I ain't saying everything he said was wrong, but a lot of things he said, it wasn't all the way right. You know, like what he used to say? High value men and women and all that. Ain't no such thing as high value. There's just people in life that's still trying to prove they not broke because they grew up so poor. That's what a high value. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't play dumb. No ass high value. You doing that because you was extremely poor and you still trying to subconsciously prove I ain't no bum. Other than that, motherfuckers that been having money and been high value, you get my point? Shit is just regular to me, you know. It ain't no big deal. What are you talking about? The value in the mind and in the emotional state. You can have all the money in the world and be disturbed. I'm good. You get my point? What am I gonna have a whole headache? So you can buy me everything I want? I got a different mind. I'll buy my own shit and you can just go on your way. You get my point? And so everything is a balance. More than anything, it's all about place. Man got to know his place. Woman got to know her place. Kid got to know their place. All becoming the next thing. You get it? Meaning the kid becoming a grown up, meaning the man or woman, and so forth and so on. And that, you got to protect the head or you got to protect whatever's at the heights because that's where everybody going to. If I say nobody need to be disrespecting no elders, that ain't right. I don't care what the elders said to you. Then a lot of y'all young, you say, nah, fuck that. If the elder disrespect me, I'm disrespecting them back. But you gonna be an elder at some point. So like that rule is protecting you for a later time. And so you got the grass. Holy Zoli said that red pill manosphere just a bunch of hurt N-words. I don't know what y'all watch and what y'all into. Like I said, I'm not one of y'all. I'm not a student. A lot of the people y'all learn from an environment y'all go into, They be coming here to learn on secret. But more than that, I'm not into what y'all into. So you have to explain, like, y'all speak like I know. So you say the red pill manosphere. I have no clue what you're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about red pill, the person, red pill from the movie The Matrix, meaning if you're saying something in regards to the movie in the red pill scene, if you're talking about red pill the person, red pill, blue pill, I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about about the person because you said hurt and words. Red pill, blue pill, and everybody cool to me, meaning y'all all cool when y'all own person, which is all y'all can be in my presence because you already know I ain't going for all that goofy shit. I'm grown. Nobody teaming up on me or nobody. I go in your mouth. And I keep it that way. When I pulled up the side of the TV, I went dolo. And watch your mouth. That's always my energy. I'm respectful, I'm playful, but watch your mouth. Especially outside. Because you feel me? I will sleep you. And I will go right back to whatever we doing. You follow? Yeah, knock you clean out and go right back to the lecture or the debate. Just move this nigga to the side. He needed the chill pill. You say, man, that nigga's solid, it's mad little. I don't come from a place of excuses, so I don't know what that means. The environments I come from, if you think you tough, you tough. Nobody care how big you. that never worked for me. I couldn't be like in my neighborhood. I'm mad little, don't touch me. They would have beat my ass, nigga. You was running your mouth. You big enough to get beat up. Nobody care about your size if you don't. And so you get it? I come from no excuses, no nothing. You just be a man and you stand on what you stand on. You make sure what you're standing on is right. And if it ain't, you acknowledge it. That way everything be on the up and up. Outside of that, I don't know nothing about excuses or none of that because I never could use those things in my own life. I have to be able to beat up the big nigga because ain't nobody restraining the big nigga if he pull up on me. You get it? And that I got no problem telling a 6-foot nigga, watch your mouth or you gonna be on your back. Because back when I was a youngster in the hood, the biggest nigga, nobody was challenging him. And if he decided he wanted to bully me, I got to save my own self. I can't depend on nobody. No, nobody want no problem with him. And that, you get it? I take care of myself, bro. And I hold all men to that. And that, y'all all cool when you're around me, cause you get it? The little group or whatever you claim don't mean nothing to me. You gonna have to stand on your own. You saying you were part of this group or that group is not gonna make me say, oh, I'm sorry. I wouldn't care what you were part of. You a grown man and me, you better conduct yourself right. It's all that simple always. Same with women. Move right, and more than likely they gonna put the beats on your ass. This is not society, this is real life. I think the fake rules of society is real. They not. Nikita, you burnt, you bitter, and you bickering on. My channel ain't for that, meaning you're not saying nothing of intellect. You're basically bickering. Nobody has time for that. Hopefully you don't take offense and you grasp what I'm saying. There's a thing called resolve, and then there's a thing where you're just seeking to prove that you a victim. This is what women do. They like want to prove to you they the victim or they the one that was done wrong. Okay, after that, then what? That part, nothing. Be desperate to be the winner of who's a victim or who's not. Nobody care about that. What's the resolve to whatever you talking about? You complaining and you have no resolve, then you just a problem. You don't have a problem. You are a problem. Every complaint should have a resolve associated with it. Otherwise, what the hell are you complaining for? Again, if you're complaining, there should be a resolve attached with it. Otherwise, you're just complaining. You said, don't forget, men came from us and we had y'all in our stomachs for 9 months. Nobody can forget that, but what point do that make in regards to the conversation? Don't forget you was ejaculated out your father's dick, and that came before men being born out of women's belly. So, but still, what's the point? Meaning the same way you said men come from women, no. Technically, y'all come from men. Everything start from the ejaculation. There was something put into the woman's belly before she birthed something out. So when you skipped over all of that and went to the, well, we the ones that created life. No, you don't. Women harbor the death. That's the body, the egg, the shit that don't last. That part. Man hold the spirit, the consciousness. What is the person? And so I don't know what you're talking about when you say, don't forget we come from y'all. Yeah, after we did all the humping and pumping and all the work, then you see how they want to take credit for man work? We the one had the baby. Man, all that humping and pumping we did and all that carrying you around for 9 months and dealing with your ass. And you actually got the nerve to say, well, we had the baby. Shit, we would have rather had the baby and not had to deal with all that shit you did. Again, we the one did all the humping and pumping. You was just laying there. And we gave you the white gold. We gave you a life. Now you get to go down and get you some Section 8 and whatever y'all do in the ghetto. That man helped you out. You'd be like the single chicks right now. If you ain't got no fucking job, you'd be fucked up. Wishing you had a kid so you could go get some benefits. And so a man gave you all that. So you could turn around talking about, we had the baby. Like that means something to him. Man say, I gave you white gold, I gave you a baby, I gave you a life. Now you go down there and get you some benefits and shit like that. And what you give me in return? An attitude in the bill. Again, if you a woman, a man gave you a kid, remove them kids out your life. You have no life. Don't play with your own self. And you eat off them kids on income tax time and when you got your little Section 8 and housing voucher. Them kids got you that. That he gave you. And you gave him a bill and a headache after that. Otherwise, tell me what you gave him in return. That part. But a woman gonna overlook all of that. Now a woman will try to argue with me on that. And before you argue with me on what I said, give the man the kid then. Give him the kid. Give him back the kid. If him giving you the kid wasn't a blessing and made you have a life, give him back the kid. You'll come to see ain't no chick giving back the kid because all they benefits is attached to the kid. That's why. It's not because of nothing else. That part. And so you don't have to debate what I said. Meaning I say man gave y'all a life, a baby, and all that come with it. You don't have to go against that and be like, no, it didn't. Give up the kid then. Nikita said, y'all have to learn to pay child support too. Sometimes y'all be lacking. My video got to do with niggas that do take care of their kids. You get my point? What we talking about nothing for? That's waste of a conversation. I'm gonna say it again. What are you talking about? I'm talking about what makes sense. I ain't talking about a nigga that don't take care of his kid. That's not a conversation. You follow? Now, when you say that, the child support part, not the lacking part, but those on the child support, you making my point. Man gave you a child, you use that child to get benefits and all of this other stuff, and then you still want something. But there was no moment where you said like, okay, we're not gonna bully and control the kid. See, I want all the control over the kid because your benefits is attached to it, right? Then you want the man to pay you for fucking him out of raising his kid. Then you got a problem if he don't. Do you see my point? Everything I just named, if y'all had to go through one part of that, y'all would have a whole heart attack. If I'm lying, let the man come take the kid then. And watch how you have a heart attack. But you want the man to accept that you bully him out of the kid and pay you for it. And so when you got that many extremes, meaning when you're that unreasonable, you're gonna have a problem. Ain't nobody living out that much unreason. You said I wouldn't give the kids up because men don't raise them better. But if I ask you if you got benefits attached to your kids, you gonna want to skip over that, or you gonna lie and say you don't? Even though from the way you talk, I know you ain't got no career. And ain't no way you gonna get around not having no career job and not need help from the government. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. It's only wrong if you're trying to belittle people and that's your reality, or if you ain't appreciative of it. Outside of that, from my observation, I see women are completely unreasonable. Meaning y'all take a lot, but you ain't named nothing you gave. You see how you say, like, I wouldn't give the kids up? What would you give the man? Before you start crying about what you ain't receiving, what you willing to give? Watch, no women got an answer. Ask every baby mama that's complaining, or any woman, period. I know everything you want from a man, write it down. Now tell me what you willing to give. They got no answer, never even thought about that part. They so lost in the complaining about what they want. They forgot about the balance part, which is, oh, everything I said just got to do with me taking and receiving. I ain't actually said nothing about him. And that a man say, man, I ain't shit to you, so fuck you. Once you show somebody they ain't shit to you, but them shit you take from, you don't got to question if they gonna treat you like dirt move forward. Why would they not? You already showed your true colors. Otherwise, you tell me what you willing to give to your baby pops or the man. I don't hear not one answer. Nikita, where you go? And so whatever you suffering, it's deserved because you don't even have an answer. But you know everything you want. It's like complaining in life that you ain't got no food, but you don't want to lay no seed. Now, like I said, the man gave you everything for you to have a life. Most women, if they paid attention to what I just said, y'all see how much losers y'all truly are. You got that man kids, you got all the benefits that go with that kid, you're still begging for more money and your ass still a bum. Let's talk about that. You ain't got no house, you ain't got shit going still, and you still complaining. Just having babies and shit, complaining. See, women don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the real conversation about how y'all got so much and still a failure. The man working against you, meaning the man working to do his thing while you going against him and you still a loser and you get everything. Why is there chicks out here homeless? You get government benefits, you fuck that up. You get child support, you get a whole bunch of shit. You probably even got a little part-time job or something. And you still broke. Worse than that, y'all take care of the new nigga you fuck with, but y'all don't ever want to talk about that. This is what all chicks do on secret. They be taking care of dudes with other niggas' money. They left that part out. Then when they get cut off and shit, they looking all dumb in the face. Let's talk about everything. Let's not just talk about what a chick want to talk about. Let's talk about everything. I don't hear nobody. Listen to what Nikita said. Men have to take care of women. That is ultimately a man's job at some point in their life. Salam, if you a man, your job take care of yourself. You don't need that. You see her? She's not every woman. She's just this bum part of life. You don't need that. I'm telling you, I had a mama. She wasn't no bum like that. My mama was about her business. She did the best she could, meaning I ain't got no complaints. We was middle class, and she did that on her own. My pops was in jail. She never complained about this nigga or none of that shit. Meaning she got nothing. She got nothing for us. My mother ain't have a lot of benefits. I don't know if she even did, because we was living in Atlanta. You get it? And so chicks like you make it bad for people like my mother. You get my point? That's how I always look at it. Y'all bum chicks, y'all disrespectful to people like my mother that I watch, like, do what she need to avoid those things. If she ever had those things in her life, it was short term. Like it is with any real woman. They gonna get whatever help they need, but they not gonna be living off their help. They gonna do them. And my mom's is 60 years old and she still do things for herself. She's still working. I don't got that kind of mother where it's like, man, why you don't take care of your mama? Shit, my mama taught me how to take care of my own self, and she's still taking care of herself. Real shit. None of that lacking bum shit where you a bum for no reason. And so a lot of y'all chicks need to take offense to chicks like Nikita, cause she half y'all problem. Y'all be thinking y'all gotta take the bum chicks' mind so y'all could compete with them, and y'all don't need to. Let the bums be what they want to be. When I say bums, I'm talking about when the person got a mindset where they supposed to get everything and don't give nothing, and then they still a bum after that. You feel me? That part. She ain't listening to nothing I said. She's a scarred woman. But if you lose your scars, maybe you hear what I'm saying, you get whatever you got going on with whatever man, your baby pops, I'm assuming. Maybe y'all can get that on track if you just be a little fair in your mindset. Chicks in the daytime think complaining is how they get what they want. You learn how to use your mouth right. Using your mouth to complain, you use it another way. Now, I enjoyed, speaking with you guys. I am on fire. Like I said, I got to get ready to go up to this Poconos. Not a vacation, though. I'm just going to see sis. Got to check in with family every so often, Make sure everybody's brain still... Make sure everybody's brain still working. And so if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask. We got about 3 minutes and then I'm out of here. Enjoy y'all day. Those of y'all that got something out this video, if you don't mind giving back, I'd appreciate it. And be well in y'all ways. Nikita, hopefully you ain't take offense. I don't want you to keep carrying on and feeling like you got something to prove, You said we give y'all romance, we end up with trusting you and we giving you our time. Love, you gotta get real. You a grown up. You keep naming stupid stuff like it hold merit to what was said. You get my point? You still lost in the manipulation tongue like a kid. Like, when you're dealing with adults, you gotta get real. Still kid talking. We do this, we do. Nobody care about the dumb stuff you making up. And men give y'all romance too. It all go hand in hand, just like pussy is. Everything you naming go hand in hand, a man could say. But I'm talking about the real stuff. See, when a woman and a man come together and have a kid, that kid is both their investment. Your stupid ass going against the investor to fuck up the investment. And that went way over your head because you probably a bum. You don't know nothing about business, so you can't even grasp what I said. But I'll say it one more time for the slow bum chicks. If I go half on something and you go half on it, now we both own that property. If you start going against me, you just tearing down the property that we built together that we going earn off of. And that kid is both y'all investment. If y'all put y'all all into that kid gonna earn y'all everything y'all want because of the talents of the kid. But the stupid chick want to go against the other investor that then can't hold up the investment on their own. That part. If you a man, you welcome. You a real chick, you welcome. You ain't even got to thank me. I already know. Just share it with somebody else that need it. Now, Big U says the pardon y'all enjoy y'all day. Hopefully nobody took offense. Like I said, it ain't never for that. It's just for clarity. Ain't no sides here. Men got a lot of work that they gotta do, but we gotta start where we gotta start. Old school, you start with the lesser things first. Start with the small mess, you work your way up. Men got a lot of mess with them, but it ain't got so much to do with y'all. Meaning a man fucking over a woman is just basically a man not fucking with her and doing nothing for her. And that ain't no real problem when you think about it. But in regards to the problems that men bring upon themselves, which is the reason for all these spiralings out, and you get my point? They lack of communication, whatever the case may be. But like I said, you gotta start where you gotta start. It's better to start with the smaller things. So that'd be the kids first. Then the women. Then after that, you get to the men. I suppose they gonna be the hardest ones to listen because they gonna have the most ego. Make sense? Hopefully it do. Salam.